duty. All right, present, share screen, share it. There we go. All right. Okay, guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Monday night. I am Erica, and we are, of course, joined by the most marvelous co-host in these TikTok streets, Rapture Ren, aka Ren I Am. We are here tonight to do all of the good things. And you know what? Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all are here with us. So thank you so much for being with us. We are here tonight, guys, to have talks with people who voted for Donald Trump. That's what we are here for. That is literally what we're here for. All right. So if you did vote for Donald Trump, by all means, go ahead and request up. All right. No one here bites except for me. I do nibble a little bit, but that's another story. And we don't have to get into it. All right. I'm talking to my therapist about it. All right. So, guys, tap, tap, tap the screen, share it aloud. Let's do all of the good things. As our friends come through and hang out with us, be sure to take care of them. But most importantly, take care of Rapture Rand. I want to hear her say thank you. All right. I want to see her gifts be light up. Do all of the good things. All right. Because she does definitely work harder than I do. All right. We definitely have a donation goal tonight of $150. If that's the best way you can show love, I'll take it. All right. Everything with Erica is the name. Pay links in the what's it called? In the bio.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks. I really forgot that word for just a moment. Pay links in the bio. Venmo and PayPal also have a Zelle. Everything with Erica9@gmail.com. And please, please, please don't forget about Ren I Am. Nee Ray is the name. Pay links in the bio, Cash App, and Venmo. Thank you again so much for being here, for the love, the support, the encouragement, and the engagement. Let's keep doing all the good things. And again, if you voted for Donald Trump, go ahead and request up so that we can have these talks. And let's do what it do. Okay. Boop, boop, bop. There we go. I heard someone says Trump is on. Oh, it's our favorite op. Trump is the best president ever. That is just a lie. I wonder if she says those things with a straight face. Oh, and mods, I don't care if people use caps tonight. I don't really care if people use caps. Like in this format, who cares? All right. So it's okay if they use caps. I'm not really paying attention to that. Also, another thing though is this isn't a safe space for Donald Trump supporters. It's just not. It's not a safe space for you. So if you voted for Donald Trump, the best place for you to be is on a panel. If you're in the chat yapping about your love for Donald Trump, you will be muted. You will be. All right. You get requested twice. If you don't come up, you can yap from outside of the club. All right. That's the best way to put it for you. So again, I say to you, if you voted for Donald Trump, by all means, request up. Let's have a talk. All right. Rand, did you read about the stock market today?
No, I did not. What's the
said it's closing out his worst quarter since 2022, basically since Russia invaded Ukraine in early 2022. Yeah. Yeah. So mhm. Yeah, I mean it's the tariffs, all the uncertainty.
Well, did you hear about him talking about wanting to run for a third term?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's stupid. That's silly.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah, it's extremely silly. I want Slayer. Do you think he's gonna run for a third term? I don't think he's not gonna be able to. It's just not gonna happen. Because they are gonna try to, but that's gonna open the door for other living presidents. Exactly.
Well, no. The way that they're trying to do it, that's how they were introducing the amendment and stuff. They were going to say that you can't serve more than 2 consecutive terms.
I heard about that, but I don't know, Rand. I just don't think they're going to be able to make it happen that way.
I think they're going to try. I think they're going to ultimately fail, but I think they're going to try.
I know you're not. Slayer. I know you're not gonna vote for him again. I don't even understand why you voted for him this time. I wanted you to try to make sense of that the last time you were here, but I don't know why you voted for that man. All right. That is something.
No, I did not see the EO he signed for Kid Rock.
He signed. I'm sorry. He did what?
You want to come explain it? Because I don't know.
I gotta look into that. EO for Kid Rock? Bruh. Bruh.
That's
Trump
serious.
joined by Kid Rock as he signs order to crack down on ticket scalpers.
Yep.
Bruh. Bruh. Oh, give me just a moment, please. One moment.
That is real executive order he signed. And
Did
they
y'all
did
hear
a
that?
photo op
Shh,
with
shh,
him.
shh. I gotta make sure everyone hears this. This can't be life.
Be live.
We don't live in the real world. This
Don't
is not
nobody
reality.
like.
Who cares about ticket scalpers? I want Durango on Ticketmaster to stop charging me an extra $300 for a ticket. Service fees and the taxes and all that stuff. I told y'all I went to go buy my Kendrick Lamar ticket, right? And it was like 3 something. And I was like, bet I can do this. Right. By the time I get to the checkout, that damn ticket like $550. I said, I'm not paying a half a stack to go see Kendrick Lamar. And I still have to travel to go see him. I gotta go see him in Vegas because it's on my birthday. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
That's not just a
I
no.
did
That's
keep
a
my money,
no.
Slayer. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that a man buy the ticket. I'm honest. I said it. I said it.
Good. Make him work for your affection.
A girl can dream. A girl can dream.
Trinity, I have sent you 2 requests.
Oh,
That's
Trinity.
great.
So at this point, you're gonna have to yap them outside the club.
Slayer, I am honest. If ain't nothing that I ain't, you can't call me a liar. Hey, Sammy. Thank you for the heart me. All right. But yeah, so there's that. That's crazy. I'm tired. That's what they should be cracking down on. That greed.
But see, here's the interesting thing: you want to go
What's
after the
that?
scalpers, but you don't want to go after Ticketmaster.
That's the whole point, Ren. They never go
Yeah,
after the actual source of the problem. They
of
always
course
go after the
not.
people trying to make a way.
Because who's who?
Craziness.
It just cracked me up because when I saw it, I went, "Oh my god!" He couldn't even get Kid Rock's support, like just for free. You know, he had to negotiate that EO with him in order to get him to come to his rallies.
I think that's insanity. Not even Kid Rock support is free.
And it's Kid
Jesus.
Rock.
It's Kid Rock. When was the last time Kid Rock was relevant?
No.
Back when the song, what was it? Bob with the Bob, the back, whatever that song was.
Bomb, but the bang, the bang, the bang, boogie, boogie. Ain't that the song?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When was the last time? That was doing I did it all for the Limp Biscuit phase.
Yeah. I did it all for the nookie. What? The nookie. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lainey. Thank you. But yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, is Kid Rock dating Lauren Boebert? For real?
Ew. Really? I mean, it tracks.
It actually makes sense. Well, I heard, and this is just pop culture news. I heard Anderson .Paak and Mariah Carey were dating.
Anderson .Paak is married, last I heard. He got
He
a
was getting
divorce?
a divorce. Mm-hmm.
Anderson .Paak is getting. I don't follow the news at all. Jeez, what is going on in pop culture news? To take a break, I guess, from politics. I lied. Let's see. Okay, so back to the stock market.
Hold on, Sal Scammer.
Scammer. Where do you get
I
a
don't know.
scammer from that?
Oh, whatever.
What's your name?
Camaro.
Oh,
Camaro.
Camaro, Sal's Camaro. I didn't see the whole
Okay.
thing. My bad.
Hello, Camaro. All right. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, fantastic. Why'd you do that?
Because he's not Kamala or Biden.
Oh, it was that simple for you?
Well, yeah. I mean, we already had 4 years of that. I didn't want
There
another
was
4 years.
no policies or anything of that nature that you actually cared about. It was just, oh, he's not the old man and he's not the black lady. So
Why do you assume?
I'm just asking you.
Well, you
I'm
say it with
asking
an
you.
attitude.
I'm not
So-
saying it with attitude. Are you projecting that onto me? That's pretty
Yeah, I guess
microaggressive
so.
of you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I guess I am. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, everything was down under Biden. And Kamala said she'd be the exact same thing, nothing different. So we need a change.
That's not what she said. All right.
She
So,
absolutely, they gave
I,
her the opportunity, and she
oh,
absolutely
oh,
said that.
It's
why
so
are you
disappointing.
yelling?
It's so
Because you're trying to
disappointing that
deny it. That's exactly what she said.
Oh,
it's
but
so
I know that
disappointing
no.
he's yelling and his ringtone is from Sonic, and it makes me sad because Sonic is so great.
Oh, well,
Why is that sad?
I don't know
Because you
why
guys
he's
just
so
hate
aggressive.
anybody that's the
It's
opposite
sad.
view of you guys.
No, it's
Mm-mm,
And
because
no,
you
we're
live
trying
with
to have a
us.
This is a
talk.
party of love and acceptance.
It's because you're aggressive. Why are you
I'm
so
not
aggressive?
aggressive.
You're pretty aggressive. But okay.
So can we say the same about you guys
That
when you
may
get all
be
crazy with people?
projecting. Anywho, so Camaro, with that being said, try to focus on Donald Trump. All right. What's the policies of Donald Trump that you actually voted for that appealed to you?
Immigration, abortion, name it. Anything that the other side was for.
Okay. All right. So you said immigration. What about Donald Trump's immigration concept appealed to you?
Getting rid of the criminals that are committing crimes here. Getting
Mhm.
rid of anybody that shouldn't actually be here, that are skipping the legal process, getting in front of the people doing it the right way.
Mhm. So what's Donald Trump's actual plan to improve the immigration system here in the United States?
Actually, just needs to enforce the laws that the previous administration didn't.
The previous administration actually did enforce the laws. Donald Trump is the one that's skirting the laws, especially the Constitution. However, my question to you is, what is his actual plan? Tell us. You're the one that voted for Trump. I'm sure that you know the person that you voted for. So,
So how
what
did
does he
so many
plan
of
to
these
do to
criminals get released
improve
back into America
the
instead of deported?
systems that we have here in the United States of America?
Well, how did all these criminals get released in America instead of deported?
Um, what are you speaking of?
All the ones that just committed these crimes. Even Bill Clinton said if they were vetted better, that none of these crimes would have happened.
Yeah, no. So only the immigrants, undocumented immigrants only committed crime during Joe Biden's presidency. They
I
never
didn't
committed
say
any
that.
crime. Hold on, hold
I
on. They
didn't
never
say
committed
that.
any crime during Trump's presidency, not during
They committed
Obama's,
crimes through
not
all
during
presidencies.
Bush's. Oh, they committed crime. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. I just definitely want to make sure that we're on the same page. All right. So what is your point?
That they weren't sending these criminals out. They had
They
a lot of
were.
prisons. They
If they
wouldn't
weren't,
notify Border
mhm.
Patrol. They would just let them go back and release once they served their sentences. They would block them from being deported.
That's a lot of misinformation that you're spewing there, sir.
Is it? Who
Yeah,
was Bill
it
Clinton
pretty much
talking about
is.
when he was talking about what
So,
was it, Laken Riley's killer? That they should have
yeah,
been vetted. What happened with that specific case?
we all believe that everyone who comes into the country should be vetted because that's a part of our process. But Donald Trump does not have any means, plans, nor even a concept, an idea of how to actually improve our system. The only thing he says is deport. And guess what he's doing? By deporting people. He's doing so without due process. All right. So he's going about it the wrong way because that's not going to prevent people from actually coming here to the United States. It's just not. And then he's deporting the majority of people who are coming in from the southern border. All right. But he isn't even considering those who fly into this country. Do you know who are here, as you always say, illegally, the highest demographic? Do
It
you
doesn't
know?
really matter. If they're not
It kind of
supposed to
does
be
really
here, they
matter.
shouldn't be
It,
here.
it
That's
kind
the
of
whole
does really
point.
matter. Do you know the answer to it? I'm trying to just gauge what it is that you know.
Well, tell me, because I just said it doesn't really
Okay,
matter.
I'll tell you. All right, is those who come here on work and student visas, and guess what they are? They're typically from Eastern Europe and Asia. It's white folk.
Okay.
All
So
right,
then
so it should matter.
what's
So
white
it should
people
matter
being
because
deported?
he's not addressing the issue. He's not addressing the issue at hand. So that is the problem right there.
So no white people have been deported? Is that what you're saying?
What do you say, Ren?
Gift though.
Okay.
I'm saying, so you believe no white people have been
I
deported?
think he did deport one, and I think the person was Russian. It was about one, yeah, but majority have been South American, Central American, and also Indian from the country of India.
Okay. So if that's the
Okay,
majority that come here, I mean,
it's
what
not the majority that comes here, dear. That's the thing about it.
That's
All right,
majority
you
of the
can't give us
illegal.
any stats to show that that's the majority that
Well, I
comes
heard no
here.
stats from you. You didn't give any sources for anything.
You're the one that's making a claim here. You're saying
You
that that's the
asked me
majority.
what
You
I
said
voted
that.
for. I didn't.
Did you not say that though, or did I hear you wrong?
Are
I
you
just want to
okay
make sure
with
I'm hearing you right.
criminals being released that have deportation orders to
Isn't
stay in
Donald
this
Trump the
country?
one that's doing catch and release right now?
Mm-hmm.
I
How
think
so?
that's Donald Trump.
How
That's
so?
Donald
Yep,
Trump.
he
How
is doing
so?
it. And I didn't
That
get
is.
that.
Go ahead, Ren. I'm sorry. Speak
Oh
up.
no, no. Oh, what he's doing also, for 400 quote unquote illegal immigrants to be held at Guantanamo, $40 million. So how's that saving us any money? And
Who
he's
said
doing
anything about saving money? So we should do wrong things because it saves us money? Now you're pivoting. So how so is he doing catch and release?
So with the catch and release, what's happening is because they don't have the actual space to hold these people in the detention centers, they're actually catching them and then they're releasing them. All right.
Where?
They're not turning them away back to the border and saying, hey, go back this way. What they're doing is they're just letting them go. The same thing that you all have complained about is exactly what they're doing.
Where, though?
And hold on, as we all know, all right, what is happening is that Donald Trump is actually deporting less people than Joe Biden was in his first 2 months of his 2024, so of last year. All right, so
then why
Donald
you guys
Trump is
say
working
that's
at
such a big
about
problem of what he's deporting, saying
37,000
it's
people.
gonna
I
affect
wasn't
the
finished talking.
economy?
That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
I
we don't
wasn't finished
care.
talking. All right, I know you've heard this a lot, but let me finish. Thank you, please. I beg. Thanks. All right. So Donald Trump is deporting about 37,000 people. All right. Whereas Biden was working on 57,000 people a month. All right. So there's that part. All right. So your boy isn't doing as great of a job as he'd like for you all to believe. All right. So what do you think about that? Since that's what you voted for him to do
That wasn't the
immigration,
topic.
which
I
doesn't make
said
sense because he
criminals.
doesn't have a plan. So is he only deporting criminals?
That's not what I said. I said to focus on criminals.
No, but I'm asking you.
And
So is
plus,
he
I'm still
only
waiting for
deporting
your
criminals
source on
then?
Trump doing catch and release.
Oh, it's from Reuters. The article in Reuters. All right. Do you want the date on it so
I would
that you
like
can
to.
read it? It was printed on March 22nd of 2025 at 9:10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right. So you can go check it out if you want to. We don't mind holding while you teacup. I get to play the whole music.
What's the name of the article? Or
The
the
name of the
title?
article is Trump deporting people at a slower rate than Biden's last year in office.
No, I said catch and release.
Read the article, dear.
Well, you didn't specify that.
Read the article, dear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is fun.
I
That
really
is fun.
appreciate that specific white music because, like, it's always soothing.
It's very soothing. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. So here's the thing that a lot of them do, Randon Parkers, is that they actually misread the numbers. All right. So they're going to believe what the Department of Homeland Homeland Security spokesman says, right? That we had higher numbers under Biden. All right. That's what they're going to believe. All right. And then they're going to say, yeah, it was like 11 million of them coming. Sometimes they say 20, sometimes they say 15, blah, blah, blah. They just pick an arbitrary number between 10 and 20, right? Million. And then we have to tell you're talking about that ICE report that was released in August of 2020. That's actually the number of undocumented immigrants that have come into the country over the last 40 years, since about 1982. So we're gonna have that conversation, Rand, and then it's gonna go nowhere. He may yell and say something, mean or rude. May say something about my jammies or my glasses. Who knows? Who cares?
So I didn't
Might
see
say
anything
something about the
catch and
weed,
release in
and
there.
then we're gonna go into the fact that he doesn't know what he's talking about, and then there we go.
And also, it's comparing the numbers
like
from
you,
Trump's
Slayer.
first month compared to Biden's entire administration. So how can you compare that if it's not a 4 year to 4 year?
It was talking about Biden's first few months of 2024 versus what Trump is doing right now.
No, it wasn't a straight.
Slayer, hold on one moment. Hold on. Slayer, I'm gonna put a muzzle on you. You better stop now.
Quiet.
Okay, go ahead, Camaro. What were you saying?
It said it's not comparing the same amount of time.
Why would that matter?
Because if you're comparing,
Is that how
if
you
they
do the law
have
of
low
averages?
numbers for 1 month and then high numbers the next month, the average is going to look like it's lower for Trump than it is Biden.
You want another source?
No, I'm saying it's not comparing the same amount of time. It's not
You
like
want another source?
Hey,
it doesn't matter until you have at least a full year of Trump compared to a full year of Biden, or even the full 4 years of each.
Why y'all always moving the goalposts?
I'm
be on
not.
rockets.
What kind
It
of
do be on
comparison is
rockets.
that? That's not a
It do
real
be on rockets.
comparison.
Because can we get like the historical data here, and then we
And
can
then
do
you
like
could
the
also
averages
compare
to
it
see, okay, how this is
many
going to
people
go.
normally come in during these
But
specific
hold on.
months. If
Can
it's
we
a slow
hold
month,
on?
of course
Time
it's gonna
out.
be lower.
Can't we say that, okay, based on our numbers from last year, we should be doing this year? Isn't that like typically how it goes? Also, in regards to the catch and release program, all right, they freed 461 undocumented immigrants since he took office, and that's from Axios. You can go ahead and read that there if you want that, Mr. Source It Man. And I'm okay with giving you a source. I truly am. All right.
Axios, what was it called again?
Axios. The name of this one is Trump's ICE frees hundreds of immigrants under catch and release.
You told me catch and release was under this article, and it wasn't.
We're talking about immigration, aren't we? Thank you guys for the PJ love. I appreciate it. Go read it.
Catch and release. You
Go
told me to read this first one.
Go read it. Go read it. Go read it.
Alrighty.
Go read it. Thank you.
Excuse again.
I appreciate you. Thank you. This is fun.
Just for the record, the hair is gorgeous. The PJs are adorable, and the glasses are always just like perfect.
Gracias. I appreciate that. Stop glazing me.
No.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Appreciate it.
What are we looking up now?
Oh, really, Slayer? I don't know why that makes my heart happy. Thank you. I told y'all I just be collecting ops. But Slayer, I'm not collecting you in like the, I cooked you kind of way. I'm collecting you in like, oh.
Yeah. Y'all need to stop feeding the strays.
I can't help it. I have a heart of gold.
It's exhausting.
Rolo. True that, Rolo. True that.
What was the title and source again? I can't find it.
It's Axios. It's AXIOS. I can do it for you phonetically. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying to be helpful because you said you couldn't find it. Jeez. Is Trump's ICE frees hundreds of immigrants under catch and release.
Okay, hold on.
This is fun. This is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Jesse sent me something on Venmo. Yay. Is this our first one of the night? Yay. Okay. That's for me. Okay. Thank you, cousin Jesse, for the $3. Jesse says, hey, Camaro, Erica and Ren are trying to elevate your current knowledge base. So this is another time to be, so this is not the time to be combative. This is the time here to take notes and soak up knowledge and be better going forward. And all right. Look, I have ops. I have melatonin. I know, right? The melatonin. Ren, you missed it. You missed it on Ari's live. I wish I could recall a story. Girl, why this guy come up there? First of all, he was calling me Erica Shite. First of all, I don't know why he just couldn't say Erica Shante, right? And then he was like, and you lean to the left, and don't you have melatonin? I was like, I'm sorry, what? 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 He said, melatonin. Don't you have melatonin?
Did he mean melanin?
He meant melanin, but he never said melanin. He just said melatonin for like 5 minutes straight.
You know what's so funny?
Okay, so
a lot of people do that.
I was like, Ari, clip this. We're telling a story right now. Hold on. I was like, Ari, you have
Let
to
me know
clip
when you're
this.
ready. All
Will
right.
do. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I was like, Ari, you have to clip this. Are you not melatonin?
Melatonin.
Melatoninated. And then Polly was like, am I half melatonin?
Yeah.
Is that why I'm up all night?
Because you ain't got no melatonin.
I don't have
Yep.
any.
You know what? I wonder, is it the same dude that said the same thing on
I
Kiara's
was
live?
wondering. I said the same. I said, is this the same guy?
The same guy. Yeah.
It was so funny. He was melatonin. All right. What now? What? Yes, Camaro. Yes, go ahead.
So, catch and release wasn't happening under Biden.
Is that relevant?
Did you read
Because
the
I keep
article
hearing
that
a
I
lot of
told
people
you?
saying, no, it's part of the same article. That's why I'm asking, because it's mentioned that in there. Because I hear a lot of people on your guys' side saying that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen.
Don't
But
nobody
now
say that didn't happen. Stop
Trump is
lying.
doing the exact
You're
same
telling
thing
fibs,
Biden did.
lies, and untruths.
What do you mean? I'm saying what people actually said.
No. People have also said water is dry. That don't mean it's true. All right.
Okay, all right. Well, let's forget about that.
Uh-huh.
So it says the catch and release are ones that don't have deportation orders. They're waiting for a decision.
But I thought Trump was getting rid of all the criminals.
They're not criminals.
How can we
If
have
they were criminals?
How
they
can
would
we
have a
have it both
deportation
ways?
order.
Okay, so
What do you
but how
mean?
did he get rid of the pregnant ladies and the children and the grandmas down in Colombia? How did he get
No,
them out of the
it
U.S.?
says they're
Are they criminals?
specifically waiting for their order from a
Are
judge.
they
whether they
criminals
have
though?
permission
That's
to
the
stay or not.
thing. Here's
How
the
are they
thing.
criminals?
Here's the thing. You guys
How are
can't
they
have it
criminals,
both
though?
ways. It's now they don't have
No, but how are
deportation
they
orders.
criminals?
But then he's getting rid of all the criminals. I'm confused. Ren, are you
No,
confused?
you said they were criminals, and
Ren,
that
are
he's
you
releasing
confused?
them.
I sure am.
Okay. I don't understand. I'm trying to follow y'all logic train. That's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying. Is he deporting the criminals or no?
This train is
I didn't say only criminals. I said he's focusing on criminals. But everybody that's not here legally is being deported. They're all open for deportation, he said. With a focus on criminals.
Exactly. If they're not
someone who
supposed to
came
be
across
here,
the border,
why
not claiming asylum, anything like that, they're open for deportation. Someone who overstayed their visa, been here for years, they're open for deportation. You said the catch and release ones that Trump set back in were criminals. So I'm asking you, how are they criminals?
Well,
I didn't say they were criminals.
She never said that.
I never said that they were criminals. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't like that.
Well, I must have misunderstood because all three of us were talking at the same time.
It's possible.
So, what?
I said it's possible that you misunderstood, but I did not say. I did not say that they all were criminals.
So what's the problem with Trump?
My whole point is that you all
catch and release with Trump if they're waiting orders from a judge. He didn't say he was deporting those specific people.
Did you just say awaiting orders from a judge? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what the article said. The ones that are in here waiting to have a decision on whether they're to be deported or not are the ones that he's releasing back into the country because they don't have space for them.
That is the whole point. The whole point.
Not illegal
no.
or any of the other stuff.
Hold on. That is the whole point. All right. Trump is shooting himself in the foot. And here's how. He fired 27 immigration judges. That's the first part. All right. So there's the first part. All right. So he's letting these people back into the country. These people that you say shouldn't be here. All right. I just want to understand your logic train. Like, how is he supposed to get these people who aren't supposed to be here out of here if he's firing, if he's firing judges? So like it's going to take them longer to actually see a judge, right? And then also
But that doesn't matter if they're here in America. They're not detained in a prison cell.
So they just get to roam free? Why am I arguing your case for you?
It says they're most of the time
the tables have
with
turned?
ankle bracelets.
Hey, Ren,
how are they
the tables
running
have turned.
free?
I've been in way too many MAGA lives.
No, because you're trying to attribute me as saying everybody should be deported who's not an American citizen.
MAGA lives.
And that's not what I'm saying. And that's not
okay.
What Trump
So Camaro, this is going to be a big old circle. All right. I don't like circular things. I really don't. I don't even like circles. So with that being said, What's the end goal here? What is Donald Trump looking to accomplish by conducting mass deportation?
To get rid of the violent offender criminals and all the ones that shouldn't be here.
That doesn't
like
make
the
any
ones
sense,
that have no valid reason to be here legally.
I don't know what that means, Parkers. All right. So no.
What do you mean that you don't know?
I'm not talking to you. Your name's not Parkers. Follow along. All right. So here's the thing, Camaro. All right. The impact. All right. What is the human impact? What is the economic impact of all of this? All right. What is the goal? Okay. He gets rid of all of the undocumented immigrants. Now what?
What do you mean now what?
What happens?
What's
now
the problem
what?
with that?
What's the goal?
What do you mean what's the goal? They shouldn't be here. They're taking the place of ones that are coming in the right way, that are paying to be here, the jobs of American citizens.
The jobs?
There's so many things.
And did an immigrant take your job?
You want to focus just on jobs? And yes, I can speak onto that.
No, I'm asking you, did an immigrant take your job? Because you said that they're taking jobs from Americans. And I want to know, did an immigrant take your job?
A lot of them do get to undercut.
How do they get to undercut?
Really?
Yeah.
So I do appliance repair, okay? I don't work for a big business. I work for myself. So I'm already cheaper than what the big businesses are because I don't have the overhead.
Personal question. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'd be messing up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask a personal question. Okay, so you work appliance repair. Anywho, man, let's get to the point. The whole point is that the immigrants are not coming in here and taking anyone's job. If an immigrant actually took your job, then guess what? As Ren would say, you were piss poor at your job. That's all there is to it. Yes, it is. Because why are you upset? Why are you upset with the immigrants? Why are you upset with the immigrants coming here? Yes, you are. If you want them all gone, then obviously you are upset. All right.
I did not
obviously
say
you are.
So
why are you upset with them instead of the people, the employers who are actually hiring them?
Do you not? Okay.
An immigrant is an immigrant to me. I don't care. Immigrant is an immigrant.
Can you let me talk and ask you a question then?
I don't know.
Then what's the point of having a conversation or debate
I'm
or
considering it. Is it going to be relevant? Is it going to be relevant? Is it going to be relevant?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I already
go ahead.
This. So, how much? Do you know how much it costs to repair, on average, to repair a washer or dryer?
Oh my God! The fuck?
Do you know on average?
How is this relevant?
How much it would cost? It is because how much is the labor for skilled trades like that? An automotive, anything, construction, anything. You want someone to come redo your bathroom. How much are you going to be paying per hour on labor? You want somebody to come and work on your car. How much are you paying per hour on labor? Now, you tell me that immigrants are not taking jobs when they can sit there and undercut by a quarter of the price.
My Uncle Earl can fix my brakes for friggin' not even just a third of the cost that it would at the dealership. All right.
Yes.
Should the dealership be upset at Uncle Earl? Uncle Earl was born here.
Okay, look,
but that doesn't make any sense. You don't make any sense. Why are you not upset with the employer?
The employer are the specific people. No. And yes, I've definitely ran into that a lot of times where someone says, what, you're going to charge me this to do this? This person right here will do it for $20. And they advertise that. It's not like it's one person doing it for their family. It's tons of, you guys don't see the people that hang out at Home Depot that take the construction jobs from a lot of these people, even small business owners, because they can undercut them by a lot.
Camaro.
I'm trying, Corey. I'm trying.
It's like you guys don't care for the human person end of it. And that's why you're
the human. We don't care for the human person of it. Okay, let me read these off, and then we'll get into the human person part of it, or whatever the hell you said. All right. Shout out to cousin Jesse again. He said that Camaro, you're gonna need to take out a notebook and a pen and just jot down notes. This is not your lane or your field of story. All right, you brought very few facts to this whole conversation, which is very, very true. It's very, very true. You haven't proved anything. All right. All you've given us is feelings.
And neither have you guys.
I'm just going to have to be honest. The only person's feelings that I care about is an 11-year-old boy. All right. And that's because I'm his mom. Okay. That's the only person's feelings I care about. I don't care about your feelings. All right. But if you would like to talk about the human the human impact of all this, by all means, let's talk about the human impact. Do
Why
you
pivoting
know
away from the
how
legal
Santana be
people being
fucking for real? All right. So, Camaro, do you know how much in taxes undocumented immigrants actually contribute to the
That
United
doesn't
States
even matter
economy?
when it
It
comes to
does
right or wrong.
matter.
No, it does not.
Yes,
No,
it does. Why doesn't
They
it? Why
broke
doesn't
the
it
law to
matter?
be here.
Why
It does
doesn't it
not
matter?
matter.
Okay, so if we
Ooh.
don't have immigrants here who can actually do the work that the undocumented immigrants here who do the work that that demographic typically does, which is our agricultural, hospitality, construction, home building, that type of work here.
There's
All right.
plenty that
What
would fill
happens
those
when
jobs.
what happens when we're unable to build our homes? All right. Because
There's
if you want to
plenty
hide,
who
no,
build homes.
quiet now. If you want to build a home, all right, and you want to hire United States citizens to do it, then you're going to have to pay United States citizen wages. Go
So
ahead.
you're
Ray.
okay with taking advantage of other people that can't say no because they're not a citizen.
I
Camaro,
haven't muted anyone all night, but I'm going to do that now. Go ahead, Ren.
Camaro, you just said something very interesting that contradicted something that you said just a little while ago. You just said they're illegal. They broke the law. They shouldn't be here. But then when we were just discussing catch and release and Trump's catch and release thing, you didn't have that same energy.
Exactly. Because they're waiting for a judge.
Right. So it makes me believe that, for lack of a better way to put it, you're full of shit.
Exactly.
No, let me explain. Can you let me
I need to
explain?
see those Ren stickers in the chat, y'all. Drop them.
That
Ren
is not a
stickers.
contradiction.
It is a contradiction.
You're
a contradiction.
Listen, if they're waiting for a decision from a judge, they are not criminals. What law did they break?
I don't care about that. Here's the thing.
She just said
How
that.
are these
don't
people?
care about that?
How are these people taking anything away from you, Cap?
You see how you
All right,
pivot?
when they
You
are
don't address
working,
the
when
fact
they are
that you guys
working,
called out for it.
they're working and they're paying taxes. How are they taking anything away from you?
Address the contradiction first.
There is no contradiction. The contradiction's on your end. You address the contradiction.
That's what I'm referring to.
Go ahead, Ren.
No one. I did not say those waiting for an opinion from a judge committed any crime. You're conflating the two. Where did I say that?
Did it say that every person that they catch and release is waiting for a judge?
Yes.
Okay, so
it even says majority of them are given tracking monitors on the ankle monitors to know where they're at. So if they don't show up, they can be deported. That's the legal way.
Hey, a lot of the people that are over here undocumented, the ones you keep calling criminals, actually have court dates and things too.
Then they're not criminals if they have a court date. That means they filed for asylum, they filed for a visa, they did something to get that court date. If they came illegally, they would be open to deportation.
So what about the people that did come legally and they're still getting deported? Or the people that have visas that are getting deported?
What you said, the people who came here illegally or legally?
She said legally.
Legally.
Who's getting deported that's here legally?
You haven't heard about the woman with the student visa who got picked up and off the street by plainclothes ICE agents?
And she had a valid visa.
Yes.
Yes.
Not expired.
No, she was
not breaking any conditions of that. And did she provide that visa, or was not able to provide that at the time?
She provided the visa. They knew who she was.
Because you do know that every year, under every president, U.S. citizens accidentally get deported.
And you're okay with that?
Actual U.S. citizens under every president. So you have an example of one and try to say that whole thing's bad and corrupt?
She's pointing out that it wasn't an accident. The woman was targeted.
How? Where's the proof for that? Who said we're going after this lady specifically? Well, you said she was targeted.
She was targeted. She was targeted. She was definitely targeted because she had participated in a protest, a pro-Palestine protest. So she was targeted.
Did you not just hear what the administration said about that? If you're a guest here and you want to run against our country, they're going to deport you and deny your visa.
That is definitely. Go ahead, Parkers.
No, I was just like, that's not running against our country. That's not the equivalent. That's just what?
Well, they're in these protests that are supporting destroying Teslas, burning
No,
buildings on fire.
no one
doing
had,
violent
none of those
things.
people participated in damaging any property. So that's a lie. All right. What Donald Trump is doing is he's
I didn't
going
say
against
anywhere.
their
I
First
said if they're gonna
Amendment
support
rights.
people who do.
Do you think that undocumented immigrants, and do you think that permanent residents and also those here on work and student visas have rights under the Constitution?
So you think
Yes or
someone
yes
who's
or
here
no
on a
question.
visa
Do
who's
you
saying death
think?
to America should be allowed to stay?
Do you think that
You get to
undocumented
interrupt me and
immigrants,
ask your questions all the time, but you won't answer
student
any
or
of
work
mine.
visas, and permanent residents, do you think they have rights under the Constitution? Yes or no?
Repeat that again. Sorry, I couldn't hear over all that noise.
Do immigrants have rights under the Constitution in the United States
Why
of
are you getting
America?
mad? You played some stupid sound effect.
I didn't play
and
a
you get
stupid
mad 'cause I
sound
couldn't
effect.
hear
That
over
was the
it?
chat. They
Well,
didn't
whoever
want to
the
hear
hell
your
did.
voice anymore. So they did that.
Okay.
When we meet
Well,
the
then why are you
goal-
getting mad at me if I can't hear over that shit?
They did that because they didn't want to hear you no more.
When we meet the gift goal,
They don't want to hear
TikTok
their whack shit no more.
automatically plays the thing. In fact, most of the time, the excess noise is just you trying to overtalk both Erica and Ren. And it's really fucking rude.
So I ask you again, and it's really quiet because you're muted now. Right? Do immigrants have rights under the Constitution? Yes or no? He'll find the mute button eventually.
Maybe.
What if he's just screaming into the void?
Likely. Did he just come off mute, or was I dreaming?
Am I back on, or am I still muted? I'm still muted, or no?
Hear you.
Juke Snooks.
Well,
Make it
I'm
ring
checking
for the play
because
ball.
you guys keep saying you can't hear me. I'm muted, but it won't let me unmute. All right.
Will you
so
please
what's
answer the question?
What's the question?
Oh, see. So I knew it. Ask the question again. God
Well,
damn
I'm
it.
sitting here focusing, trying to get off of mute while you keep telling
Anywho,
me.
the question
Jesus
is,
Christ,
all right, I thought I was bad at multitasking. Yeah, here we are. All right.
Yeah, just
Do
continue to
you
make fun of
think?
people.
Oh
That's
my
the way to get people to your
God.
side. Do you even care about
Are you
getting people to
finished?
come to your side?
Are you finished? Are you finished?
No, I'm not finished.
You're not finished? Do you want to host this show?
No, I don't want to host your show.
Okay,
You
then
guys are
hush
full of
up.
hate.
Listen to the question. Listen. Use your ears more than you use your mouth. All right. Do immigrants have rights under the Constitution?
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right. Do undocumented immigrants have rights under the Constitution?
I honestly don't know that. Educate me if it's a law or not.
All people under the jurisdiction of the United States of America have rights under the Constitution. All right.
Okay,
Whether
which
you
is
are
what?
undocumented or not, you have rights. You are entitled to due process. What is happening is Donald Trump is skirting due process. He is denying re-entry into the country from those who are permanent residents. He is
Where is that
arresting
happening?
those with the French scientist,
One person?
the professor.
How many people is this happening to?
No, this is an example for you. If you want to know the exact number of people that this has happened to, how
Well, you're
about you
making
go
the
and look into
claim.
it yourself?
You're
Go
making
look
the
into it
claim.
yourself.
It's not an issue if it's like
Go
one
look into
person.
it
If it's
yourself.
hundreds of people.
I'm giving you an
Well, 'cause then
example,
you guys don't
and
know,
you're
you
going to
run off of
allow
one
me
stupid
on my
example. Say,
show
oh,
to
the
give you
whole
this
damn world is
example,
coming to
and
an
you're
end.
going to stop talking while I'm talking. I'm really getting tired of you talking while I'm talking. Have some impulse control. Act like your mother taught you something. It's getting mad annoying. Good grief. And someone would say just curlish behavior.
Yeah.
If it. All right. So, as I was saying, all right, and this is per Philippe Baptiste, who is the Francis Minister of Higher Education. All right. So, the professor who works here in the United States, all right, visited home, which is France, And when he came back to the United States, he was going through Customs and Border Patrol at the Durham airport, and they found anti-Trump rhetoric on his phone after checking it, and they denied him re-entry into the country. All right. Does that not go against his First Amendment rights? Yes or no? Or
was he not in the country yet then?
There we go. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were exactly going to say that.
Why don't you
All
address
right.
that
So
first?
if he's not in the country, he's not in the country. What about Mahmoud Khalid, who is in the country, and all he did was do a peaceful protest? He sat there and he protested.
Why don't you lead with that example first?
No. Because I want you to understand they're both permanent residents.
Okay, but you just knew that was going to attack that one point on there.
Mm-mm.
So
No, it wasn't. What about that one?
I'm going at all.
Of course, you're not familiar with those cases. Do you want to take a moment to read about it?
Okay, but they're going to come up.
You can take a moment to read about it. Just Google Mahmoud Khalid. Go ahead. Mahmoud Khalil. Go ahead. Good grief. Just go.
I'm not going to freaking try to even.
Of course, unless you can't even. Oh my God,
send it to me
not
and I'll
a
look it up
hard
and read
name.
it.
I'm not sending you anything. It's not a hard name. Mahmoud. It's phonetic. Spell it.
And
Mahmoud.
So hey, why are you so churlish? What's going on?
What do you mean? It's upsetting to have to hear you yell and cut me off on everything. You guys get upset. I can't get upset.
Who's upset?
I know he can't read.
Why do you got to go to the insults? Did I not just read the other?
I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments.
Well, how am I supposed to know if you're reading comments or talking to me?
I know if you were looking at your screen, did you know?
Why the hell should I? How the fuck am I supposed to know what you're talking to me or not?
Why are you being so rude?
Ran, let him crash.
Like you guys like pick on every little stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, while he's figuring out his life, Erica, can you check PayPal?
Yeah. Oh, multitasking.
Can I guys ask you one question and then I'm off of here?
Wait a minute. I'm checking. I was told to check PayPal.
All right, I'll wait.
Okay, I gotta make sure that I read all of these. Oh, Riley, thank you for. I gotta do math. Riley, thank you for the 5. Camaro sounds like he needs to stop whining and be more qualified for the job. Then that was in regards to you being like an appliance technician or something. I don't know. All right, and Jesse, shout out for the 2. Well, shout out for the 4 from Jesse. Jesse says, I have E7. Illegal immigrants don't contribute anything to the economy and taxes. For my MAGA talking points, bingo card. Immigrant rights. I have bingo. All right. Did you call out bingo in the chat? Immigrant rights. I have bingo. All right. Did you call out bingo in the chat, Jesse? You got to call out bingo in the chat. All right. Just drop some hearts in the chat for Jesse. All right. Let's see about PayPal. That is funny as hell. All right. Let's see here. Shout out to Elizabeth for the $20. Elizabeth said, Cam, you are a fool and you need to stop interrupting Black women. You rock, Erica. Thank you. Thank you very much. You rock too, Ren. And Parkers, you rock also. But yeah, stop interrupting us. Like have some decorum, okay? Have some decorum. Please. We beg. All right. Now, what question did you want to ask before you skedaddle? Because I really wanted to talk about the Constitution with you, but I know that you are unable to. So go on.
I'm able to? I'm perfectly capable of.
Okay. All right. So what's due process?
Let me ask my question first if you want to talk about that.
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
Where did all the billions that voted for Biden go when it came to Harris?
I don't know. You have to ask a statistician.
Did they all run to Trump? Or were all those fake votes?
They did not all run to Trump because Trump didn't even get a majority. Trump didn't even get 50% of the vote. And why did you say billions?
What are the millions of people that voted for Biden?
You did say billions.
For Harris?
You did say billions.
Why did they abandon Harris?
You did say billions, which was funny because it wasn't billions. You said billions. This is okay.
Whatever. Right. I meant millions. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. It's okay. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. All right.
Yes, and you don't seem to understand mistakes. You just got to.
I do understand mistakes.
Stupid. You said this instead of that.
No, I did not. I didn't call you the S word.
Doing that.
Dude, I'm reading. People send me money to read stuff. Like I'm just reading the donations. That's all I'm doing. If the chat thinks that you are, some type of obscurity, that's not on me. I didn't call you that. That's not on me. I'm just reading it. Now, if you want to say something nice about you, if you want me to say something nice about you,
I don't care.
pay links are in the bio. Then you can do it. And I'll say something nice about you. But until then, I'm going to read what the audience says. So there's that. All right. Now, here's the thing. Trump didn't even get majority of the votes. He got like 49 points. Yes, yeah, it does matter. A lot of people chose to sit home. A lot of people did not vote. That's all there is to it. They just didn't vote.
Trump got more votes than he did in the previous 2 elections.
Hey, Camaro.
So where did the ones from Biden go?
Hey, how you gonna ask her a question?
Each election,
and when I try to answer, I can't even answer it.
Go ahead.
Okay, you'd have to be quiet for her to do that.
I'm quiet.
Okay, so stop talking. Thanks.
Okay. So you want me to tell you where all the votes go to? I mean, what would be the purpose of that? I really want to know, because I know that a lot of people just chose not to vote this time around. Unfortunately, they decided to sit this one out.
But the media had so much convincing everyone Trump was Hitler. It's going to be the end of democracy. The Constitution's going to be thrown out.
This is the pivot.
Such a huge deal, but people decided to stay home.
Not happening though.
Yeah, are all these things not happening?
How the heck did all these counties flip?
You know what the first thing that Adolf did when he came into office? When he appointed himself chancellor out there in Germany, and the first thing he did was he declared a state of emergency. What's the first thing that Donald Trump did when he came into office?
That's a stupid comparison.
What's the first thing that Donald Trump did when he came into office?
So if they both had dogs, they're equivalent?
Answer the question. What is the first thing? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You guys don't like equivalencies. Y'all don't like equivalencies. All right, because it tells the truth. No, Donald Trump. Yes, we are being gaslit.
You know, we have other presidents
Donald
that have
Trump
more in common with Hitler than
claimed
Trump.
A state. He declared a state of emergency. That's what Donald Trump did. All right. Okay. That's what he did. All right. Also, another thing that Schmittler did was Schmittler went after the queer community. All right. That's exactly what he did by closing down the first institute for actual transgender rights. All right. For the studies on transgender. It was amazing. He closed it down. He stopped that. And he went after transgendered and queer people.
Well, good.
That's what Donald Trump is doing. You say, well, good. But that's literally what Donald Trump is doing. He is following a playbook. All right. That's what he's doing.
Okay. So what is he doing?
All right. So we can see the parallels between the two.
How many things of the Constitution?
And so Kamala wasn't wrong.
Get rid of to give
JD Vance wasn't wrong. JD Vance wasn't wrong when he said that Donald Trump is America's Schmittler. Okay. Now, do you want to talk about the Constitution or no? Since you said you can talk about the Constitution.
Why do you make points and mute me?
I didn't mute you.
Well, who's muting me?
I have moderators. Maybe they just don't like you.
Well, how are we going to have a conversation if we have people muting me?
Why do you keep talking about your feelings? I asked you a yes or no question. Are you ready to talk about the Constitution? Yes or no?
No, because you're deceptive.
Okay, there we go. You don't want to talk about the Constitution because you can't talk about the Constitution. There you can.
You guys
No, you can't.
You don't let anybody make any points. Your hatred to everyone who supports Trump.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
I don't know.
You guys are racist.
Racist? That's funny.
What's
racism? What's racism?
Wait, you said me, the biggest one of all.
Oh, fudge sickles.
Why is he saying that? I always catch strays.
There we go. He's skedaddled, guys. He's skedaddled. I love a good skedaddle.
So nice.
Shout out to Joy for the donation.
I love a good skedaddle. I gotta update the gift goal amount. Like I have to do math. Random Parkers, talk to the people. Guys, that was so much fun. That was a lot of fun.
I don't know. Like I always get blamed. I don't know. Oh yeah, it was fun. It's amusing to me. Like I always catch strays.
Yeah.
You guys are racist.
Which is
Rand is the biggest one of all.
Yeah, I was like, I definitely told him he was really fucking annoying and rude. Like you would think.
Like I wasn't even really talking.
That was a lot of fun.
It's so funny. I don't know what I don't know. I find it amusing. Like I just be breathing and shit. And they be like, she did it. It's her fault.
Audacious.
Yeah.
I said,
Midnight said she's like Rand be chilling, and then they be like, and you. I'm like, and me what?
No,
What I do? Like I'll be sitting over here muted, eating food, and they're like, and Red, and I'm like, I'm sitting here with a chicken bone sticking out my mouth. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Jesse, I need you to be so real. Jesse said, hey, you guys were bullying Camaro. MAGA feelings matter. He tried to keep a
What?
straight face while typing that. Is hilarious. But no. That was no. That boy, he needed help. He needed some milk. All right.
Oh, the real truth seeker. I had some chicken thighs. My daughter baked them. When I tell you, like I don't know what she do, but she can season the hell out of some chicken. Like, and I was like, "What do you do?" She's like, I just put it on there until I."
Guys, seriously, come on.
Mhm.
All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, go ahead and request up. All right. I'm trying to keep the conversation tonight about politics. All right. So we keep the show
Mhm.
going. But I know those thighs were delicious. All right.
They were.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's tap the screen, share the live. Let's take care of the panel. Keep showing Parkers and Ren all the love. All right. Also, we're working on those tiny dinies. We have 25 of those to go. So I know we can go ahead and knock those out. Let's keep doing all of the good things. Let's get the likes up to 125,000 likes. I know we can do that. Let's see. What do we have in the request? If you are friendly, please drop out a request. I might do like some friendly time later tonight if I'm in a good mood. All right. Please don't make me say the B word. All right, guys. Don't make me say the B word.
Oh, please don't make us say the
I've been dealing with them folks. All right. I've been dealing with them. They love me. I don't know why. They fucking love me. All right. But yeah, thank you. All right. So guys, don't make me say the B word. Okay. All right. So if you voted for Donald Trump, go ahead and request up. All right. Let's so that we can have these talks. I promise no one here bites. All right. I don't know why you would put that in the chat. I said, don't make me say the B word. Okay. So yeah, let's keep doing all of the good things, guys, so we can continue to have these conversations. I want to hear Ren say thank you. Parker's also has pay links in her bio. So by all means, show love. It's the love way. It's the way our community does things here. All right, guys. So tap. And let me see what else is going on in the news. All right.
Sticky tagged me, and then Ari sent me the article. Ari sent me the article about Japan, South Korea, and China, who notoriously don't like each other, are actually teaming up to jointly respond to U.S. tariffs now. That's not great for us. Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah. For those of us
snap.
who don't know South Asian history, Japan hasn't
read this out.
South Korea before. Like, they're not friends.
I mean, Japan invaded China also.
That's true too.
Yeah, so there's that. Yeah. Okay, Mark, I will. All right, I'm going to read this article. So this is from Reuters. Is China, Japan, South Korea will jointly respond to U.S. tariffs. Move ad. Chinese state media says. All right, this just published at 7:37 Mountain Standard Time. Wow. Okay, so China, Japan, and South Korea agreed to jointly respond to U.S. tariffs. A social media account affiliated with Chinese state broadcaster CCTV said on Monday an assertion that Seoul called somewhat exaggerated. Oh, okay. Let's see what they're talking about. All right. The state media comments come after the three countries held their first economic dialogue in 5 years on Sunday. Wow, Trump got them talking to each other. They ain't talked to each other in 5 years. I guess once Biden came in, it was like, we good. We don't got to worry about much. So there's that.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. All right. So let's see here. They were seeking to facilitate regional trade as the Asian export powers braced against U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. All right. Japan and South Korea are seeking to import semiconductor raw materials from China, and China is also interested in purchasing chip products from Japan and South Korea. The account Yuyan Tenchian said in a post on Weibo. Is it Weibo or Weibo? Weibo.
Weibo.
Weibo. Okay, I got it right. All three sides agreed to strengthen supply chain cooperation and engage in more dialogue on export controls, the Post said. When asked about the report, a spokesperson for South Korea's trade ministry said the suggestion that there was a joint response to U.S. tariffs appears to have been somewhat exaggerated and referred to the text of the country's joint statement. During Sunday's meeting, the country's trade ministers agreed to speed up talks on a South Korea-Japan-China free trade agreement deal to promote regional and global trade. According to a statement released after the meeting, the three countries exchanged views on the global trade environment, and as you can see in the joint statement, they shared their understanding of the need to continue economic and trade cooperation. I mean, it sounds like the South Korea guy is trying to downplay it, but this is exactly what China said happened. All right. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nope. I was going to say your interpretation sounds very correct, especially given how the South Korean president plays politics a lot more closer to his vest like that.
Okay.
And China don't care.
Yeah. China don't care about the US. And see, and that's the thing, what's going to happen is because like South Korea and China's market did extremely well. They're doing well, actually. China's more so internal. It has really nothing to do with the outside factors that are taking place right now because they've already done their retaliatory tariffs on us and we've already charged them the tariffs. So it's like theirs is more so internal. It's something to do with like AI that they have going on over there. But Japan's isn't doing that well. So this could definitely be a boost for Japan economically, which is a good thing for them.
Yeah,
Bad
which
for
is
us.
every time somebody comes up to talk about tariffs and they're like, but the U.S. is so necessary for the world economy. I was like, that's
And
no. If the U.S. goes isolationism and doesn't want to involve itself and play nice with everybody, they'll just work around us. That's how that works.
Exactly. And I hate when they say I think Ari was talking to someone today, but she made a good point. Is she was talking about how I think she was talking about trickle down, like giving corporations big tax cuts in the past hasn't worked. And then the guy was like, well, there was a different time, a different economic system is completely different, blah, 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 blah. Right. And she was like, so basically, what data do you have to show any different? It's like, why doesn't historical data matter to them? It just doesn't matter.
Because they'd much rather believe that Trump is the art of the deal guy.
He sucks. He's an awful negotiator.
I know that.
Which is wild. He's not only a bad negotiator, he didn't even write those books. Like, what?
No, he didn't. They were ghost written. That's that part. Shit. So yeah, there's that. There's that. I don't know.
Well,
okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say if they acknowledge what we know that he's a bad negotiator, then they have to admit they were duped.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't care. I don't think I would have the energy to put up such a fight. That's a lot of fight.
That's a lot of energy for nothing.
It is. And it's not even serving them. Like how many times does one have to explain how tariffs work for you to get that you're about to be spending a lot more money out of your own pocket?
They don't care.
I mean,
because they believe the bullshit that it's going to bring manufacturing back to this country.
It's not. It's not. That. It's not. I know you know that, Rand. Rand, we have 200 people in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are talking to 200 people. So it's definitely not going to bring back manufacturing job. What we're going to get is a lot of pomp and circumstance of companies saying what they are going to do. But these companies have every right to take their plants and their manufacturing to other countries that, aren't going to basically put this expense and put this pressure on them. They're going to be able to do that. They can take it to Mexico. They can even go to India. They can go to Vietnam. I mean, hell, they can even go to China. So they have so many different places that they actually can go. And then they don't have to worry about it. I mean, what else? What else do they do? And then like in Canada, did you guys know that in Canada is actually denying US imports?
Mm-hmm.
I did know
I-
that.
Yeah. So they're denying U.S. imports. Shout out to Michelle for that. So with them denying U.S. imports, what's to say other countries won't do the same thing? Then there is no tariff that's being paid. There's no tariff that is being paid on these imports. I don't get it. I want it to make sense. Somebody help me, please. I think I just said that wrong, but it's my brain. Help me. Help me understand.
I
Bec-
can't.
I
Because it's
feel
the
like
law.
I feel like we were in a really, really bad relationship, right? We were in such a bad relationship. And then it was like Sleepy Joe came along and was like, hush, baby, it's going to be okay. He talked us through it. He talked us through it. He was like, it's going to be all right. I'm going to fix these things. Because that's what Democrats do. They come in and they fix stuff. Do they always do everything that we want them to do? No.
No.
But they fix stuff. They get the economy back rolling. Job growth ends up happening. Quality of life improves. It's just, they just do all the good things, is what they do. They do the good things. All right. And then we were like, you know what? I like drama. I love drama. You know what? I like the excitement. You know, this has been too easy. I don't want this anymore. I want a roller coaster. I want to wake up in the middle of the night in night sweats. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Let's get back with that old thing. Let's get back with that old thing. That old thing is Trump. And now here we are, back with the old thing, waking up at darn gone 5 o'clock in the morning and breaking news. We shouldn't be getting breaking news at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You
I
know,
don't
you
care.
know the part that bothers me the most about it?
What's that?
I didn't even choose to go back to this abusive relationship.
Mm-mm.
I didn't even choose it.
I wanted to stay away from abusive because it can be triggering for some people. I just wanted to stay away from that word. Yeah. But seriously.
I mean that, like, I don't mean it dismissively though.
I know how
right?
you mean it.
Yeah, I don't
Just
mean it dismissively.
toxic.
Yeah, because I feel like the hurt and the harm and see, here's the problem too. People, there's a subset of people in this country who assume that all the bad things was only going to happen to the others in society.
Okay.
And now that it's happening to everybody, now they're like, yeah, this is what we planned on anyway. You know how you ever heard the
How,
thing?
Eli? Type it out in the chat, Eli. I want to know because you can't come up here and tell us. So type it out.
Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie.
Nope. Someone paid good money for him not to come around here no more.
I know.
I asked Drea. I said, Drea. I asked her over at Alina's. I said, Drea, if I gave you $100, can brother come back? She never responded.
Absolutely not.
She's like, that's not just a no, that's a hell no.
She never. I never saw the response.
You weren't gonna.
Well, maybe it's for the best. What's Twitch doing? I haven't checked on Twitch in a while. Twitch or YouTube? What y'all doing? All right, but yeah.
I never got the notification.
He said Trump is failing us economically.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Not justice for brother. That's wild.
Okay, that is a bridge too far.
In a way.
Hey, I want to get. I want to try to figure out how can I get my followers up on Twitch, because I'm not a huge fan of YouTube. I'm not even gonna kid y'all. I really like Twitch, and I'm probably liking the wrong platform, but I like Twitch. So how can I get the followers up on Twitch? All right. If you're not following me already on Twitch, I need you to just go to Twitch real quick. You don't have to exit out of TikTok to do it. Just open up your Twitch app. All right. Search everything with Erica and just hit the follow button. Just follow me. I like it over here at Twitch. All right. It's everything with Erica. Yep.
You know,
Everything.
you know, we probably gonna have to hit a
A restart. Yeah, I've seen like so many people have to do restarts today too. Been crazy on these TikTok streets. It's looking like a suppression.
Oh, did you hear that Elon Musk, Musty Musk, he sold X to his
to his
own
AI.
AI company?
Yeah. It was a stock buy. He
Oh
bought it in
no,
stock.
he's basically playing musical businesses.
Yeah, but it was all purchased in stock.
Musty Musk.
Yeah. So Twitchers, if you're not following me on Twitch, by all means, hey Mallory, welcome to Twitch. All right. If you're not following me on Twitch, go ahead and do so. All right. I know you can still hear me because you're on Twitch right now. I see the numbers go up. All right. So if you're not following me on Twitch, by all means, click that follow button. Do it now. Everything with Erica.
Shut up. The man is here. What's up, Vortex?
What'd
the
you
vortex.
say?
The
What'd
vortex.
you just say?
The women vortex.
Did you just say shut up, a man is here?
That's right.
How big is it? How big is it? 1, 2, maybe 3?
2.
2. I knew it. Yeah.
From the ground, bitch.
I knew it. From
the ground, bitch.
No. Above. Never mind. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen.
How you doing?
Do all the good things, guys. Do all the good things.
Hey, we're gonna go to Ren's
So
room
Cobra, are you gonna behave yourself or are you gonna act like a
Alina's
it is?
room. Aha, run, bitch.
Who's running?
Run.
You can't.
Track star. Run.
You haven't ran in 15 years.
Run, band. Run.
You haven't run in 15 years. Maybe
bitch,
30.
Run.
Maybe 30.
That is so weird.
Why is he so weird? Why is he so weird?
Only human interaction.
Ugh, disgusting.
Maybe if he
that guy was a loser. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty. The fact he's calling you a bitch too is kind of stupid. You didn't do
he's
anything.
A stalker.
he's
a stalker in real life. He's a weirdo.
Well, that's
he
literally
has
one
like
of his 30 accounts.
5,000 profiles.
But I hope y'all are having a good night. I'm coming up here. I'm pretty much in the middle. I'm a young voter. I decided not to vote in the last election. But I had one question. What happened today? Trump said that he would give 50% tariffs to countries that would buy Russian oil.
Weren't you just on someone's panel earlier today and you said you voted for Trump?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you vote for Trump?
I did not. I'm 22 years old. This is my first time able to vote, but I ended up not being able to vote.
Interesting.
Why not?
So I live in Phoenix, but I go to the University of Arizona, and I tried to vote at a polling station in Tucson, and they said you can't vote here. So then I ended up not being able to vote because I wasn't in Phoenix.
Okay. I mean, I don't know nothing about Arizona, so I can't say whether that's accurate or not. So,
hey, it's a great state. It's a little hot right now, but I love it here.
It doesn't sound right.
I know. Well, trust me, my parents are not very happy. They don't care who I vote for, but they were just as confused as I was, and I had a test that weekend, so I couldn't drive back to Scottsdale that day. But the question was about today. I think it is a good step towards the middle. Trump said he'd give a 50% tariff to countries buying oil from Putin, which I think is, showing a little bit more strength towards Russia. So I don't know if you guys had an opinion on that.
Y'all talk to him. I'm looking into something.
You believe that? You believe that?
Do I believe what?
Do you believe it? Do you believe that he's actually going to put that tariff on?
I hope he does. I mean, who knows? I mean, he said a lot, and he hasn't done certain things. He has done certain other things. So I don't know. I think it's a lot more of a rhetoric that he's trying to get people to follow, but we'll see. I hope he does, because that would really hurt Russia. That's their number one export. That's their, one of the number one things they produce. So
Hey, let me ask
yes,
you a
ma'am.
question. If you could have voted, who were you going to vote
Sorry,
for?
I missed your question.
If you could have voted, who were you going to vote for?
That's a good question. The presidency, I was pretty torn up until about the last month. And again, I work in finance, so I was probably going to vote for Trump, but I was more focused on the local elections because what's her name? The Republican that was Carrie Lake is awful. The Republican that was running here, so I was going to vote for, I think is Gallego. I was going to vote for him here, so kind of a split ticket.
Wait, you said you work in finance. So then what financially appealed to you for Trump?
There were certain things. I mean, one was the track record in 2016 was good in my opinion.
Ooh.
I think the tariffs will be good for us long term. Short term, not so much, but long term, I think it's going to turn out to be pretty good.
You work at a hedge fund management
Wow.
company?
I work for one of the bigger hedge funds in the country. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But we do a lot of retirement planning. We do a lot with
Not anymore.
401ks. So I'm pretty proud of where I work. I think we do a lot more good than bad.
That's a matter of opinion.
I mean, I worked hard to get here. I'm not. Again,
I understand. I'm not discounting your hard work. I'm still saying it's a matter of opinion. That's all. I'm not saying that to be judgmental about it. I mean, everybody got it. Take all kinds to make the world go
I think
round.
benefit from being invested
He
for
at
sure.
his job, or he threw his clients under the bus. One of those.
What'd you
I
say?
said either he's bad at his job, or he threw his clients under the bus with how he was going to vote.
Well, I didn't have a job yet, and again, I'm just starting out. I'm pretty young, so it's more learning right now. But I'm proud of the company I work for sure.
Okay, so it's the former. Got it.
I don't have any clients, ma'am, but not yet.
What are we doing?
You don't see people's 401ks are taking a nosedive right now.
Yeah, well, a lot of it has to do with where you're invested, and it's hard. A lot of people don't want to be invested right now, which I understand. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now, but
Yeah, because even Nasdaq plummeted 10.4%. Hello.
Yeah, it's rough for sure. I would advise. Again, I'm not
Thank you, Shay.
accredited, but I got some
Thank
money in gold right now, which is a good inflation hedge. So if you think Trump's going to cause some inflation, definitely put some cash in gold. I definitely have some in there.
And I'm gonna say this, and I mean this with all the.
So we got a black. Hold on, we got a Black Historian raid. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Welcome in, Black Historian raid. Thank you so much, Shay. Thank you. Drop some hearts in the chat for the Black Historian, y'all, and the Raiders. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's if you have enough money to put money into something. You do realize that a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's unfortunate. And if you are fortunate enough to be able to afford to put some money aside and keep it for the future, I think it's the best thing you can do.
Hey, don't we vote on Tuesdays? He said he had a test and he couldn't get back to Scottsdale for the weekend. I don't know what that has to do with voting.
Well, we have early voting in Arizona.
I know we have early voting in Arizona. Want to know how I know we have early voting in Arizona?
Yes. I don't know.
I live in Arizona.
Well, I'm not lying. But it was
No,
more
it just
for
doesn't make any sense.
Well, I could have voted for the president, yes, but I couldn't have voted for the local officials in Phoenix, which is what I care about more than Tucson.
Like you would have been voting for like your school board, your local congressman? Was it, or did you even have a seat up there in that
Yep,
district?
there was actually a lot. It was the longest ballot in our history actually for Phoenix. There was a lot of different things I wanted to vote for. And then I was too late for the mail-in thing. I didn't opt into that. Trust me, I'm not lying. I don't know why it would matter, but
yeah, I just do no vote, no voice. That's why.
But I actually did have a test on election day. I have two Tuesday, Thursday classes this semester, so and last semester as well. For that comment, I do not hate poor people. I don't know why you would think that.
Joe, did you vote for Donald Trump?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I voted for Kamala.
Kamala? Okay. All right. We're just looking for people who voted Donald Trump.
Okay, I see. Oh, well, I just wanted to come up because I wanted to call the lady's bluff who told me to hush or come on up. So here I am. Dre. Thank you. Okay, see y'all later. And hey, look, I don't hate you. Hey, we all have a right to vote whoever we want to vote for. But I know one thing. The orange man, orange dumpy pants is wrong.
I couldn't press it fast enough, y'all. I was trying. I couldn't. What are we talking about? Why are men so fragile? Why? Why are men so fragile?
I don't know what just happened.
So tell y'all being so fragile.
Hey.
I enjoy how you guys are very nice though, and not there's a lot of people on here that just love to scream and shout and call each other names. So it's a breath of fresh air for sure.
That's because Erica has me house trained.
It's because you haven't done anything to offend me yet.
Well, I'm glad.
It's because I've checked out.
I'm not here to offend anybody.
I've literally checked
you
out.
Haven't. And to be totally honest, I think I would be honest. The only reason that you're still up here is because you didn't vote, and usually we operate under the No Vote, No Voice Act. However, you're the only potential option at this point. But what you're saying doesn't make a lot of sense. Because you said that you had voted for him, huh?
I'm talking to the chat.
It's a little muffled too.
Ren, you are a little muffled.
I said I don't believe that what you're saying makes sense.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. Where you're saying that economically Trump was the better choice. I don't see how you think that the current status quo is good for anybody.
Well, I mean, it was more on track record for sure. I mean, he gave the biggest or the biggest tax cut to the middle class in history in his first term.
What?
So
it is true. It is. I'm not up here to lie or be annoying, but it is true. He did give the biggest.
Cite your source.
Sorry?
Cite your source.
I'd have to go get up my computer right now. I'm on my phone.
It does help, Jesse.
Let me grab my computer. But I have the privilege of having a great finance teacher in my past who gives out weekly market updates. It was actually one of the recent things he was talking about. I'll try to pull it up here.
Super. I know Susie's not here. Otherwise, we would have heard from her by now, too.
Yeah, Susie's definitely not here.
Obviously.
Yeah, so it's right here. Ways and Means, United States House Committee, Chairman Jason Smith. It was 13.5% cuts for income groups from 20 to 30K a year, 11.5% for 30 to 40K a year, 10% for 40 to 50K a year, and only 5.9% for $1 million plus.
Do you
So
think
it says right here, as a result of the Trump tax cuts, top 1% paid more income taxes than ever before, over 45% of all taxes. The top 10% of earners now pay over 3/4 of all income taxes. As a result of the Trump tax cuts, the bottom 50% of earners paid less income taxes than ever before in history.
no?
What was it? You said the Ways and Means Committee. What was the date on that?
February 25th, 2025. This is showing Donald Trump's 2017 tax cuts, along with the fact sheet.
You said February 25th.
Yep, it's called Correcting the Record. Trump's tax cuts were a boon for the working class.
Hold on.
I'm just reading what's on here. Again, I'm not trying to give any
I really
misinformation.
have checked out. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh shit! Sal's still in the comments. Just
Yes, ma'am.
This is not a
Are you reading an opinion piece?
yes. This is like an op-ed.
This is the Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith. He's
Yes,
a government official.
he's also a Republican, right?
The Republican House Committee. This is an op-ed from the Republican House Committee trying to kiss Trump's ass. I can't.
Well, I mean, there's data on here. There's real data in charts.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not spreading misinformation. This is just real. And again, my finance teacher just released my old finance teacher, who I follow his market updates to this day.
Is he a Republican?
No, he actually, from what I could gather from his lecture last year, he mostly leans left.
What kind of shitty ass professor sends out opinion pieces like that?
Well, he didn't send this opinion out. He sent the facts out. This is just an article about it. Well, right here, you can go to the Hill. You can go to Americans for Tax Fairness. Go to the House Budget Committee. There's a lot of different pieces on it. It's not just this one. And again, it shouldn't be really a thing that we argue about. That was one of the things that he campaigned on, which is, I mean, it's a reason why he won for sure.
Can I tell you a secret? The lowest income earners and stuff had a staggered increase to their taxes.
Well, a lot of that increase has to do with just inflation and inflation adjustment.
What you doing, Eric?
Huh?
I said, what you doing?
I'm reading. I'm just reading, formulating, and reading about the tax cuts. That's all. It didn't help. It didn't help. I mean, on paper, it's the largest tax cut, but it didn't help. It's like Ren said. It did give a cut initially, but it has been staggered. That's why the middle class is seeing less money in their after tax income. So the money that we actually bring back. Also, Donald Trump changed the deductions. All right, so we're not even receiving as much back as the tax refund as we once did, and we're also paying more taxes. All right, because we can go back just anecdotal, and I will keep this anecdotal. All right, on this part, I remember prior to Donald Trump's tax plan going into effect, as head of the household, I had zero tax liability. I didn't pay anything in taxes or anything. It was weird. It's the weirdest thing to me. But then once the TCJA was in place, I would say starting in 2022. Yeah, because I was at Rocket. I can say where I worked at because I don't work there anymore. So I was at Rocket. I actually started to see that money was actually coming out for head of household, which was wild. So I remember that part. So it's been a staggered increase. And also on average, according to the Center for American Progress, the middle class mostly saved about $900, approximately $900 from Donald Trump's tax cut a year. And the lower class, like, in the bottom percentile, they only saved about $70. Whereas those in the top 20%, they actually saved about $61,000. So I just want to see, where is this massive tax cut? All right. Because if he gave this, what do you say, 11% or something? You said, what percent did you say?
Let me pull it back up. I was just looking at a different article.
Yeah.
I think it was 15. Let me see. 13.5% to the lowest bracket.
13.5%. All right. So if I give you a 13.5% decrease in your taxes, right? But then I take away what you can actually claim and itemize on your taxes, all right? Did I really give you a cut? Did I really give you that big of a cut?
Well, what do you mean just taking away from what?
Taken away. So if I'm able, all right, you gave me I'm going to go with 10% to keep it simple. You gave me a 10%, all right, tax cut, right? So I am saving, let's say, $100, all right, a year. Just to keep numbers small and simple, I'm saving $100 a year in taxes, right? Then, right, I'm used to being able to actually itemize my mortgage interest, right? I can't do that anymore. I can't take into account the interest paid on a home equity line of credit either. All right. So I can't do that either. And I'm used to being able to do that. So did I actually save money?
Well, within the data from the IRS, yes, you did. And that's not it's not even arguable. I mean, it's fact. It's in the IRS released this study.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'll find the article again. I was just on it, but hold on.
Mm-hmm.
The Senate Committee on Finance. That's pretty unbiased, if you ask me.
No, it's not.
Well, this was published in September 22nd, 2020. The IRS has released 2018 statistics of income. Middle-class Americans saw the biggest tax reduction from Trump tax cuts. And the interesting thing is, like, Biden, the Trump tax code has been still in place even under Biden. And again, Americans right here, it's right here. Americans with adjusted gross income of $50,000 to $75,000.
Hey, Ren's mic is kind of low. All right. So just sports, Ren was talking.
All right.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I understand what you were saying.
It was just more statistics, but
The Senate, if you've ever noticed, you will hear us provide you with a information from like irs.gov. But if you notice, how often do you hear us say anything as far as a Senate or House committee? It's because that information is biased, because whoever is in the majority is the person that writes that information.
yeah, that's very fair. But when this article was released in 2020, the Democratic Party had a net gain of 3 seats and the majority.
In 2020, right?
Yep.
So they would have had that net gain, and those people would have started in what year?
They would have started. Well, it happened in 2014, and they didn't lose it until I want to say 2022. No, they had it then too. I think it was this year when they lost it. The Senate has been mostly has a Democratic majority for most of history.
No. I have 2 names that will prove to you that was not a Democratic. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin.
Okay.
Are you familiar with them?
They,
Yeah, of course I'm familiar with cinema. As an Arizona guy.
yeah, so she's a Democrat. She's a dino, a Democrat in name only.
Okay.
I am so bored.
Me
I'm
too.
so bored. He
Me
didn't
too.
vote. I don't know why I didn't call the audible 20 minutes ago.
Well,
Didn't
again, the person that
vote.
actually made this article, Alex
Don't
Hendry,
His
I mean,
tax cut wasn't effective for the lower and the middle class. It didn't do what it was
okay,
supposed
well,
to do.
by the
But
statistics,
did
it
they?
was.
What happened with the corporations? What happened with the corporations? Did the money trickle down to the middle class and the lower socioeconomic class? Yes or no?
I mean, he only lowered it by 1%, but when Biden raised it by 9%, we saw a massive increase in CPI and inflation. So I'm not a believer in trickle-down economics, but at the end of the day, if you raise the bottom line for
But
a
you
lot of these
lean
companies,
towards those who are in favor of trickle down economics, though. Trump is in favor of trickle down economics, and it does not work. Alex, I just got lost too. He's talking about inflation now. All right, and
because
my
you just
favorite
brought it
question.
up.
My favorite question. I didn't ask anything about inflation. I'm talking about the tax cut that Donald Trump gave to corporations. Did that money trickle down to the middle class and the lower class? I'm not talking about inflation.
Within prices, of course it did. I mean, it's just true. Was
Did the
inflation,
prices go down or did the prices go up?
inflation was at a
No,
historic
no,
low
please,
under Trump, and
please.
you know that's true.
You mean during the pandemic?
Before the pandemic,
They weren't at historic lows. The
okay,
prices were already increasing in 2019.
here we go. Let's look at it. Inflation in 2016 is here we
You
go. In
really
2019, it was at a annual change of a minus 0.63%. That's one of the lowest, 1.81% inflation rate. That's one of the lowest you'll ever see.
Hey.
No one
What
is
is a
talking about the
healthy
inflation rate. I
inflation
swear to
rate?
God.
A healthy inflation rate is 2%.
Between 2 and 3. When you're down,
Sure,
and
but
you're down
two
under-
is the aim from the Fed.
Prices
you're-
were going down in 2019. However, food prices actually rose 2.1% over the 12 months ending in October of 2019.
Well,
All right,
corn,
this is per
corn
the
inflation is very
excuse me,
different from
this
broad
is per the
inflation.
Department of Labor statistics. You sat here and you said that prices were going down. They weren't going down. All right? Because of Trump's tariffs that he had implemented in 2018, those blanket tariffs that he did, and all that came along with it, we were starting to see the prices increase. I say this almost every single night. The pandemic saved his ass.
I mean, well,
We were starting to
core
see the
inflation is
prices.
very different from broad
Okay,
inflation.
so then when we go there, all right, and you say that Joe Biden somehow raised it by 9%, all right, how about this? Tell us, what did Joe Biden do in the first 75 days in office to cause inflation to increase?
Well, one of the
What
big
did he
things was,
do?
one of the big things was the PPP, which was a
The
huge
PPP,
mistake.
that was under Donald Trump.
But he
The
do you not,
PPP
do you
was
not
under
realize
Donald
he extended
Trump.
it to universities as well?
Does
And
not
that-
matter. That was under Donald Trump. Why
Oh,
does
that matters
everything
a
that
lot.
Donald Trump does just automatically stop to exist because he's no longer the president? We no longer see the effects of anything that Trump did because he was no longer the president. Like, make it make
I
sense.
don't think you understand how much the PPP changed under Biden.
Tell us.
Again, you can look it up again.
It's nothing worse than finance, bro.
Nothing worse than a finance bro.
Well, unless you want to make money, and then you should know a couple.
No,
All right, then stay how you are.
you don't even know how I am.
Well, however you
I
are.
do not want to release the Kraken.
What you mean?
The Biden-Harris
You
administration
will end
made
up
several
cursing his ass
reforms to
out.
the PPP.
I already know it.
Oh.
You're just gonna end up cursing him out. I already know.
No, I'm just calmly paying my pet rescue saga game. and that's the only reason I probably haven't crashed the hell out yet.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna keep playing my game because I really I don't like the finance bros because they don't ever want to discuss the human aspect of any of these things too. They're looking at as if people's grocery prices didn't go up.
He literally just said that the grocery price, he literally said that prices went down under Trump. And I tell him where he can find the information that they actually increased in 2019 by 2.1%. And then he tells me, well, there's a difference between inflation and core inflation. Like, sir, shut the fuck up.
There's
The
a big
prices were
difference
going up.
between core
The prices
inflation.
were going
Economists will tell you the exact same
the
thing.
prices were going up. So until an economist gets up here and tells me that, the prices were going up in 2019.
Okay, well, until you guys open up
That's all
your
there is to
ears and
it.
your minds to actually
My
listen
ears
to different
and my mind
opinions.
are open to the
All right.
truth.
Well, you
And the
guys don't
truth
listen to
is
different
that
opinions.
the prices were actually going up.
Okay,
Just
but
sports.
broad
Just sports.
inflation was at a historic low, and you cannot
It
discredit
does not
that.
matter if the inflation was at a historic low. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
The
just
reason
listen to
why
yourself.
okay, so if the inflation was at a historic low, then why is the Department of Bureau of Labor Statistics, why are they reporting that the price of groceries was actually increasing? Why? Because that's the correlation that you're trying to make here.
That's the correlation you're trying to make.
That's the correlation that you're trying to make. I asked you a
Do you not
question.
realize
You
that
started
groceries
talking
aren't
about
the only thing
inflation.
that people buy?
I
Groceries are
literally
not-
asked you a question about trickle down economics, and you started talking about inflation. And so, therefore, I said that the darn grocery prices, I said prices in general were already increasing in 2019 because you stated that Donald Trump had historically low prices. That's what you said.
Because he did, and it's statistically true. And groceries aren't the only thing people buy. If you weren't aware of that, there's also clothes. I mean, utilities. Energy was at a low. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't say that's the only thing that people buy are groceries.
Hey, just sports. Remember, I told you that the whole reason I wasn't cussing you out is because you hadn't offended me. You are bordering on offending me.
I mean, if facts offend you, then you need to wake up.
You haven't spoken one fact.
I've given you sites, and you guys refuse to admit that it's true.
No.
It's pretty funny.
No. First of all, do you understand that under 2% inflation rate is actually the signs of going into a recession? Did you know that?
Well, did you know?
He's a finance bro, Ren. Of
Yeah,
course he knew that, right?
You know
knew that, right,
partial-
though? You knew
like,
that, right?
Partial recessions could actually benefit the economy. Not a full-blown recession, but partial recessions can actually help. And disinflation is not bad when you have a high unemployment rate.
I want to know, where were the prices lower? Give me a category, because they weren't lower at the grocery store. And you said that's not the only thing that people buy. So tell me.
Wait.
Go ahead, Ren. Sorry.
He just said something that you just said a partial recession is good when unemployment is high.
Yep.
So, are you saying that back in that time frame that we had lost jobs and unemployment had risen?
No, the economy was actually just growing far more than we could have anticipated, and that's pretty much exactly why that happened. We had our largest economic growth in the history of the United States under Trump.
No, okay.
Yes, we did. Do you want me to bring another site up? I mean, you guys can just say no, or you can listen, and we can discuss things instead of you guys just saying.
Shut up. I want you to
they added less than 2 million jobs in 2019, which was the lowest annual growth since 2010.
I know.
So there's that part.
I know.
Core inflation, by the way, was at
here we go.
1.8% in 2018, 2.2% in 2019, and then look at this after COVID. Let's go to 2023. End of 2023, it was at 4%. 2024, 3.8%, 3.5%.
They
the
love
end of the
using the
year.
core inflation rate, Rand, because it's always going to be higher than the actual
You brought
inflation
up
rate.
the core inflation rate.
I did not bring up the core inflation
said
rate.
food.
You
Do you
did.
not
I
understand what
literally
core
asked.
means?
I literally asked about trickle down economics. You mentioned the core inflation rate. You
You
did
are the
that,
one that
not
said
me.
food was going up, which
You
is
are
under
the
core
one.
inflation.
No, I said prices were going up.
Exactly.
This
of
conversation
food.
has been way, way, way around the world. Like, I think we've gone around the globe at least 25 times because you keep mentioning stuff. Then when I respond, you mention something else. And then when I tell you that you said something, you go back and you say, I never said that. It's BS.
Okay, well, when I said that inflation was at 1.8%, you said that food prices were going up. Food falls under core inflation. Core inflation was actually.
So are you going to admit that you mentioned core inflation? Because I never said that. And literally the only thing that I asked you was about trickle down economics. That's
then
literally it.
Why did you bring up food?
Because you
talked
mentioned
about it?
inflation.
Okay, thank you. So I mentioned
Jesus
inflation,
Christ.
and you mentioned core inflation, and now I'm correcting you. And
Okay,
you can't
all right, let's
stand
do a reset. For the love of God, let's do a reset because I'm tired of yelling. All right. And the space right here is starting to hurt. So I don't want that part to hurt. All right.
It's just facts.
So hey, just both of us, we both actually live, and you said your people are in Scottsdale?
Yeah, I live like border of Phoenix and Scottsdale.
Oh, okay. That's like near the Camelback area, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been to Maple and Ash before?
No
one gives a fuck. Get the fuck on. I'm tired. Thank you, Drea. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was being gaslit. I don't like being gaslit.
That was terrible.
Drop some hearts in the chat for Drea. Drop some hearts in the chat for Drea.
He was doing it the instant he came up.
Yes, literally. He voted for Trump. I'm trying to tell y'all. I've seen him on other panels and he voted for Trump.
He said it in GTs.
I thought so. I'm like, that boy voted for Trump. I've seen him before.
Yep.
I tell you. I'm like, why are you mentioning the core inflation? I didn't say anything about inflation.
You did not.
I was being gaslit, y'all. I was being gaslit.
You was. And you know what's so funny?
Mm-hmm.
Like I did really good. I just played
I'm
my.
proud of you, Ren.
I played my game. I just played my game, and I was like, I know if I don't play this game, because he keep getting loud and he keep making little comments, then I'm gonna crash out, and I don't want to crash out. So
I want to crash out.
I don't want to crash out. So I am going to play Pet Rescue Saga and free these little puppies and kittens in the game.
God, that's adorable.
Yep. That little boy, first of all, he was a liar.
Yeah.
He was a liar. He was a liar and the truth wasn't in him.
Yes, you can. You can. Invite them up. Invite them up 2 times midnight. And then if they don't come, then yes, you can. Yes, Ren. Play your games and ignore reality, Ren. We're in a subwave?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
These Nooks gifted him a sub and said, come back to learn something.
Oh my gosh. He's definitely not allowed. Okay, guys. So yes, tap the screen. Let's share the live. I'm gonna go ahead and reset the gift goal. Guys, guess what? Guess what, guys? TikTok's going away on the 5th. We got 5 more days, guys. Are we gonna get pickle time?
I don't know, but I heard that Oracle is actually trying to buy it, and Trump actually said that he believes that a deal will be done before Saturday.
That's what's up.
I mean, he lied, but even a broke clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah, that part. All right, let's check anything. Cap. Hey, Sean. Cap. Doop. Yep. Jesse, you are right. You are right. Jesse says, Trump. Jesse said, ooh, Trump lost 2.7 million jobs. Yes, he did. He did lose 2.7 million jobs. 2 million of those were just in 2019. All right. Yep. And Phil sends $1. Phil says, just so you know, when he is talking about the middle class getting 18%, that is the percent of total dollars. I knew it. I knew it. You know what, guys? One thing that I struggle with is I sometimes have self-doubt. I knew for a fact, I was like, the middle class did not get a 13% tax cut. Because I remember reading about that, and it was only between 1 to 2%. Thank you so much, Phil. I wish I have saw this earlier. 1 to 2%, and it's been increasing ever since. Well, the cut has been decreasing, I should say, ever since. You didn't get 4%. All right. So yeah, okay. There we go. That's to be a hell of a tax cut. You know who did get a 14% tax cut though? The corporations.
Yeah, we got 4% from 28 to 24. We received the highest tax break. The 1% got a 2% permanent drop. Then we got a 4% progressive drop, and then the lower class.
It's progressive, so it's been increasing. There we go.
Yeah, and the lower class got a 2 to 3% drop. But that's the bracket I'm in. Yeah, the bracket I'm in, I was in the 28% bracket previously.
So it's been increasing.
Yeah, but even it's increasing, but even from where we started, it won't even touch where we started. So essentially, yes, it is increasing, but it's still lower than where we started in 2017.
What did it equal out to? About like, what was it, like 50? If that, was it 20 or 50 something a month?
No, it's like 300.
Yeah, it ain't.
Yeah, I think total like fiscal year, it's like $6,000.
I'm asking you this for real because I want to read it. All right.
Yeah,
yeah. It's true. What's the source?
Yeah, go to irs.gov. You can see it.
Just type in irs.gov.
Well, type in tax brackets. Look, type in tax brackets 2016.
2016?
Yeah, before he implemented, or even do 2017. It doesn't matter. Before he implemented the bill. In the 28% bracket, I'm in that bracket, and we got dropped down to 24%. And the equity margins even increase, so you can actually make more equity and stay in that bracket. Yeah, the middle class received the best.
Where's Chris?
I mean, I can pull it up for you if you want. It's easy. It's just on irs.gov.
All means I appreciate when men do my dirty work. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead, pull it up.
I'll pull it up. All right, 2016 tax brackets.
Thank you, Phil. I saw the article on Discord, so I'll look at it.
Here it is.
Hold on
one
moment. Hold on one moment.
So in 20, you ready?
No, hold on. Thank you to whoever did that. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Come on, Christopher. Jeez Louise. Must be something in the air. Hey, Liv.
Hey.
I love when you say that. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? What's up,
I'm
Doing
well. We have we're talking about taxes.
Ooh, I love taxes.
I don't.
It's fun.
I don't even want to pay them.
Only person who's ever said
taxes.
Yeah, we hate taxes.
Live.
Just wait 5 years.
Oh my gosh. So basically, the gentleman below you is saying that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we did receive. What are you saying? Like a benefit? Well, the other guy was saying that it was the largest tax cut the middle class had ever received. Blah blah blah. This gentleman is just saying that we received a 4% tax cut and so on, and that it was progressive. But are you? Oh, neat. Good to know. Thank you, Bethy Lefty. I might just actually go watch that. What's your argument? Are we even arguing here, Zach?
No,
I can't see
I
your
was
whole
just
name.
coming
You're
up
just
to
giving us
say that.
information, right?
Yeah, but
All
I
right,
spoke with
continue.
you a couple of days ago.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I did vote for Trump, but we were talking about the middle class bracket, which is essentially the 28% bracket pre-Trump, And then when Trump enacted the TCJA, it got dropped from 28 to 24%, and the equity margins actually increased underneath that bracket. So like we received the best, essentially the best tax.
Wait a second. Why would you look at it from that lens?
What was that?
Why would you look at it like that?
Why would I look at it like that?
Yeah, that's cherry picking.
Somebody got a money guy. See.
What do you mean? I mean, how the federal government determines how to tax you is they essentially they take the equity you earned and they multiply it essentially if you're on a biweekly or whatever pay schedule you're on, they times it by 26 and that's your tax bracket. Or how they tax you respectively.
That's not my question. That's not my question.
What are you asking?
How would you look at the impact of the TCJA that affects all American citizens?
Oh, brother, we're just talking about the percentage of drops. That's it.
No, you can't talk about this TCJA and only talk about the percentage of drops. Because first of all, people ended up after 18 months paying more in taxes and receiving less, and we saw that trend continue all the way up until today.
No, so
and people blame Biden and Harris for it, but it was
what individuals don't comprehend is that these individuals were the money that they would have got on their return. First of all, if you expect a tax return, you don't understand your tax code. But what's happening is that these individuals, hold on. These individuals are getting that return money throughout the year on their fiscal year with the paycheck. When they go to do their taxes and they don't understand it, then they're like, oh, why am I not receiving this return? That's what they're saying. They don't understand their tax code.
You don't understand what I just asked you.
This is simple mathematics.
I remember this.
Like very simple mathematics that we can do right now.
Kept saying that people don't know their tax code.
They don't.
Oh yeah, and Susie came up here and taught him the tax code. I remember that.
Yeah. Listen, but this is my point.
Walmart,
why?
CPA
Can I ask a question?
Can I ask a
clarifying question, friend?
She got upset and called me some names.
Can I clarifying question, friend?
What's up?
Why would we only look at the middle class?
That's who runs this economy. The middle class spends, the middle class makes. That's what happens.
All right.
That's logic.
Okay, great. And so what would be fortuitous is not to just look at this one small part of the TCJA, but look at it in its totality and its impact over the past 8 years. I'm very sure there are studies out there that can assess not just in the first year or 2 years that it was passed, but the totality of the past. Was it 8 or 7? I don't remember. I think it was passed in 2017, went into effect in 2018. So that's 7 years.
Yeah.
So I'm very sure people have looked at that.
Here's the thing that I have a problem with. Like your tax bracket may have moved by like 4 points or whatever from 28 to 24 or whatever you said. But I'm trying to tell you, I know for a fact, and Phil keeps emphasizing this because he keeps sending me money to tell you this. But literally, the effective tax breaks were 1 to 2%.
No, they
the
weren't.
Tax cut was 1 to. Yes, it was.
It
literally was. I'm gonna find it too.
I can pull it up for you.
And then let's see here.
The 28% bracket got dropped by 4%.
Hold on one moment. Phil also said the reason I said the effective rate is because it eliminated individual deductions and those ended up shrinking the returns for middle class.
No, so it doubled the standard deduction. Okay, so he's misrepresenting that.
We got all from the chat.
Yeah, he's misrepresenting the standard deduction.
You prove that you don't understand as much about taxes as you think you do.
No, I do.
No, you don't. And let me explain to you why you don't. Because not being able, you just said that you want to use the middle class as the shining beacon of how this was good, right? Removing the ability for middle class people to be able to itemize things like mortgage insurance ended up costing them. So even with the increase in the standard deduction, they were still getting less back.
No, this is what people do not comprehend. So with that tax plan, it allowed the individuals to keep the money that the government was essentially withholding from you throughout the year. They received it in their biweekly paychecks. So individuals that do not comprehend it, when they go to file and they see that they are not getting that whatever amount of equity back they think that they're paying more, but they don't comprehend that they received it throughout the fiscal year. That's what the tax break did. All it is individuals that do not comprehend their tax code.
No, Sauce, you don't know what you're talking about. Because
I do. Yes, I do.
Not. Because you do understand that they also lowered down the refundable amount of the child tax credit, correct?
The child tax credit has remained at $3,500.
But
the only thing that they did was allow you to get it previous.
He don't
not
listen.
as a tax credit.
He don't listen.
No.
Did I say refundable?
No, you're trying to equate that the tax credit was
Didn't I
lessened.
say the word refundable?
You're equating that it was lessened, which it was not.
Didn't I say refundable?
No, I'm rebutting you.
You're stupid.
No, I'm not. You're
Rins
trying
up.
to equate that the child tax credit was reduced. It was not.
Shut up for a second and actually listen. I said the amount that was refundable was reduced. I didn't say the credit as a whole was reduced, but the amount that was refundable was reduced, which means that people were getting less back.
That is kind of moronic to say. And I don't know how to put it nicely. Because the refundable amount would always reflect on what you're receiving. In no way, shape, or form was it ever reduced. The only thing that administration allowed differently was to claim it as a different refund and get it earlier as the fiscal year. That's it. And then when you went to file for that child tax credit, you didn't get it because you already received it.
No,
that's it.
You're wrong.
I'm not. You can pull this up. Respectfully, I only speak on things that I comprehend. That's it. I don't talk about all this other nonsense bullshit. 90% of the population in America does not understand their tax code. They want to receive a refund. If you want to receive a refund or you are thinking about receiving a refund, you 1,000% do not understand your code. And that's what every CPA will always tell you. You either withhold more money to offset that or you claim something on your W-2. Susie even went over this before. She said the exact same thing I'm stating. This is common financial knowledge.
Bill says you don't understand that your W-4 has always been available to reduce the amount. No, this person sent me money to read this, so you have to hush and be quiet.
My bad.
All right. He said you don't understand that your W-4 has always been available to reduce the amount the government can take, and you can square up the rest at the end. He doesn't do it, so he doesn't get it. That is very true. You can't.
No, you cannot square it up at the end.
Yes, you can.
Your W-4 is at the beginning of the year.
What? No.
W-4
You
whenever
can
you want to.
Only if you have a dependent.
No, you can't.
No, you can file exempt whenever you want to.
No, but that's.
What are you talking about? You can change it.
No.
Yes,
if you want them to hold more, you can have them hold more.
I know people that will file exempt for 6 months out the year and then file
because they're 1099 contractors. That's why.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're regular employees. You can change your W-4 anytime you want to.
Yes, you can amend it at any point of the fiscal year, but it will not apply to the retrospect or the retroactive of it.
No one said anything about it being retroactive. Yes, Susie.
So why would you change it at the end of the year then?
Oh, Bill is here. Susie's here too. And
why would you change it at the end of the year then? If it's not retroactive.
I'm trying to figure out what 1099 employee has a damn W-4.
Yeah, the 10 it's not W-4.
They don't.
1099
No, they don't get a. Hold on. You don't get a W-4 because when you're 1099, an independent contractor, you have to keep your own taxes. So you're responsible for your own tax liability. Like no company is taking it out for you. You have to make sure that you keep the money to the side.
Correct. A W-4 is not typical for anyone that's a 1099. But my point was
No,
to get back to what you were saying, can I just get through it?
Yes,
need
it
to get through
is.
Can I-
W-2 gets implemented in 1099.
Oh, now we're talking about W-2s. Ain't that funny, y'all?
You had said that anybody or people were getting more money back because of the TCJA and they just wanted more of a refund and they didn't understand it. I was trying to say that the W-4 has always been available, and typically even a single person can get up to 3 exemptions depending on what they want to file. A single person, no kids, to make sure that they don't give money in, or they can reduce it down and have 1 or 0 sometimes to pay a lot more in to get their reduction in. It has always been available. Don't act like the TCJA ever gave anything new in that way, shape, or form. I don't understand why you don't get this.
Are you the guy that sent her the money that said do it at the end of the year?
Yes, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, why would you do it
I
at the
said
end
you
of the
can
year
square
if
it
it's not
up. That's how you do
retroactive?
taxes. Doing your taxes squares it up at the end of the year. That's what I was talking about. You can't comprehend things. It's not our fault.
No, what I'm stating is, why would you do it at the end of the year if it's not retroactive to the equity you
No,
earned
you
before?
don't understand what I said. That's not our fault. I was saying that you can reduce the amount that you pay in, and if for some reason you needed to pay more, then you would pay more. That's called squaring it up at the end of the year, aka your taxes.
Yes, but you stated at the end of the year.
Oh my God, dude, you're so hooked on one word and you can't comprehend what it meant
No,
in the
I'm
whole
calling
context.
out this. Yes.
No,
You're
you
calling
don't
me
get
an
it.
idiot, but you just stated that you can amend your W-4 at the end of the year and it's not even
No, I didn't.
retroactive.
No, see,
Yes,
this is
you
what I'm
did.
saying. You
That's
don't
not what
understand
he
what I said.
said.
She
Do you
read
want
it
me to
out
reread?
loud.
Okay, hold on one moment, everyone, please, just for a moment, so I don't have to use the voice. Okay, Phil said he doesn't understand that your W-4 has always been available to reduce the amount the government can take, and you can square up the rest at the end. He doesn't do it, so he doesn't get it. Do you understand that he is talking about when you file your return is when you can square it up? Do you understand that?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any
Like
sense.
you don't understand context. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
All right.
sense.
Okay.
Basically,
No, it makes
Okay.
perfect sense. You just
hold
don't
on.
understand words.
Let me tell you what it means. Basically, what he's saying is you can set it up where your W-4, they don't take anything out. And then when you file your taxes, you can just pay the government.
What
you
the
owe.
fuck that's not even relevant to what we're saying.
That is because you were trying to say that people
Holy
could keep
shit,
their
now I
money
see
and
where you're
invest
coming
it over
from.
time.
In no way, shape, or form is that relevant to somebody saving money throughout the fiscal
You
year.
made the point. You made the point.
Yes, it is.
Shit. How would they be saving money if they have to pay back the government?
Because they
Bro,
saved the
see-
money throughout the year, sir.
You have to pay it back.
Thank you, Susie.
Did they or did they not still save the money,
You have to pay it back, and that money's already spent.
Bro, chill out.
sir?
Get the fuck
You're
out,
so
bro.
emotional.
That's
Wow.
the dumbest shit
okay,
I've
so-
It
ever
sounds like
fucking
you're the
heard.
one
No,
who's
no.
a Walmart
Hey, would
tax
you mind if I
preparer.
got the? Hey, Erica, would you mind if I
That
got
is the
big
dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life.
Sure, Liv.
You're saying that these individuals that are not withholding the money that they need, they're just all of a sudden at the end of the year they're going to pay it back to the government. What the fuck?
That's not what he's saying. You fucking
That's
nimble.
exactly what the fuck you're saying.
All right, kids. Okay, all right. Liv has
That's
the big
exactly
screen.
what they are
Okay,
saying.
let's focus on the big screen, guys. Let's focus on the big screen.
The year, so that the
All right.
pay.
Why is he so emotional though?
I don't know. Get him some peanut butter because he's
Dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
All right. Liv, take it away.
Gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show these. But I don't understand why is he hung up on this when we should look at the overall impact of the TCJA on American people as a whole, our rich, middle class, and poor. And when we do that, like even his own institutions say that his tax plan failed, conservative institutions. We look at that and we can look at peer-reviewed sources up to 2025 letting us know that there will be pain because of his tax plan. Like, I don't understand why we keep having this conversation when there are so many sources out here that say that the overall impact of Donald Trump's tax plan harms middle and lower class Americans. Like, this is crazy to me. And this was just in 2 minutes of me warming up my jerk chicken, my curry chicken, over a bed of white rice with cabbage. Okay?
Are you sharing?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't care about federally subsidized R&D. If you go look at the Department of Treasury,
Oh my
you can
God.
see exactly the influx of money that came in
Listen,
jobs.
friend, listen, friend.
Nobody cares about the regurgitation of articles.
Listen. No, you misunderstand
Sounds like sauce
the
can't
argument
leave.
that I just made. Listen.
No, I clearly
I
heard
think-
you.
No.
You
okay,
Googled
so
some articles and you
Steel
typed in
Man-
the economic relief of the TCJA, and you found some
Well.
federally subsidized R&D, and then you regurgitated it.
Yeah. Listen, that's not actually true. Like, you can ask the vast majority of people on this panel. I've read the TCJA. Like, I can absolutely debate you on this. I don't find utility. This is what I said in the beginning. You haven't read the legislation. You haven't looked at how it's impacted American people.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay? This is a difference between you and I, right? I don't find
Gladly.
a utility
Drop some hearts in the chat for Phil.
in engaging in this conversation where we can just look at aggregate data from peer-reviewed sources and have a conversation
Aggregate
around
data.
that.
So pull up the Department of Treasury.
What
You
does
can see the-
aggregate mean? And spell it.
Yeah, I can't, and I don't want to.
We knew that.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
I can't
So,
spell-
so again,
I can't even spell
you're
can.
not equipped to have this conversation. This is the second time this has been proven on this panel.
Yep. I'm definitely not equipped to have this conversation. So
Right.
now pull up the Department of Treasury. You can see the influx of jobs and money that came in. Go pull it up and go
Why
look at
is there
from
an
fiscal
influx of
year.
jobs and money?
Fiscal
Wait a
year
minute.
from 2018 when it was the year after it was
Wait a minute.
implemented,
Wait
all
a
the way
minute.
to
From 2018 to
2021.
2025, why
Yep.
would
Go
there be
pull
an
it up.
influx in the job market?
And stop regurgitating
From
federally
2018,
subsidized R&D.
Time out.
What
You're
is
not gonna do that.
R&D, first of all?
No, time out. Research and
Yeah,
development.
and how does that have
Okay.
anything to do with this?
No, it has nothing
This
to
is
do with that.
just-
He used that term
Right.
wrong. This
Right.
is the third time he's been proved not equipped to have this conversation. Now, listen. When we're having a conversation about tax policy, what we need to do is look at how the tax policy impacts American citizens. Also, how society is moving. The reason that between 2018 and 2025 that there was an overflow and influx in the job market is because of the pandemic packages that had went to the American people.
Oh,
It
I'm so glad
allowed
you brought
for
that up, bro.
16 million.
I'm so glad
It
you brought that up.
It allows for 16 million black.
Let's talk about the American
Time
Rescue
out.
Plan.
Am I still talking?
Let's talk about the American Rescue
Am I still
Plan.
talking?
I'm glad
Was I still talking? Because it started 16 million
Yeah,
black
talk.
businesses. Okay, great. I will. 16 million black-owned businesses. You had an influx of people going back into the labor force and an entire demographic of people that could work from home. So it allowed people that normally couldn't get a regular 9 to 5 and go to the office to be able to feed themselves outside of living on like social services, social assistance, or just in abject poverty. Then you had the expansion of during the pandemic of places like Amazon, right? Who is literally moving into small towns and decimating them. And this was an influx in the labor market. And then you had legislation passed like the infrastructure bill under Biden that allowed for government-backed jobs for people to get employment, right? And so all of these things happened in economic recovery, and they all happened because of the Biden-Harris administration.
Oh, I'm so glad you
Don't take credit for something that the Biden-Harris administration did,
I'm so
and then
glad you
claim
brought
that
this
it was
up, bro.
Donald Trump.
Let's start with the American
Because
Rescue
that's
Plan.
not true.
Let's start with the American Rescue Plan and how that brought generational inflation that we've never seen before. Let's start with that. How are you going to try to overstimulate?
We had global
hold on.
inflation.
How are you going to try to overstimulate an already stimulated economy with misappropriated allocated funds? Let's
Yes.
start there with the American
It
Rescue.
wasn't misappropriated.
Yes, it
It
was.
wasn't misappropriated.
Yes,
It was
was.
allocated by
And
the
you've seen it,
legislature.
and you've seen the
It was
effects of it
allocated
with
by
the
the
natural
legislature.
disasters.
It passed that. It passed
Hold
the
on,
House,
hold on.
the Senate,
Then let's
and the
talk about
president
the
signed it. It
Inflation
wasn't a
Reduction Act.
misappropriation of funds.
Hold on.
Can we
I let
agree?
you speak. I let you speak.
No, you did.
Then-
But we need to be able to agree
No.
that it passed the
Let's
House,
talk about the American
Senate,
Rescue Plan
and
and
it was
the
signed by the
Inflation
president.
Reduction Act.
Listen, no, we cannot move past this point because you cannot tell them truths.
No,
we have to
you
agree
cannot
that
tell the
under
truth.
Trump
Pull up
and
Larry
under
Summers'
Biden,
article
that
about
the
American
rescue plans
Plan.
passed the House, the Senate, and were signed by both Trump and Biden.
Pull up Larry Summers' article
No, we
about
need
the
to
American
agree
Rescue
on this
Plan.
first.
Yeah. Pull up the American Rescue Plan.
Can
by
we
Larry
agree
Summers.
on this first?
I'm not agreeing to shit you're saying, dude, because you won't be quiet.
Okay,
honestly.
so now you're not operating in reality.
Yep, I'm not operating in reality.
This is the fourth
Not
time
in
you've
your
been seen
fairy
as
tale
incompetent.
version of reality.
This is the fourth time you've been seen
Now
incompetent.
pull up Larry Summers' articles about the American Rescue Plan.
Okay, great.
Because I'm sure you know who Larry Summers
You've been
is, right?
proven to be incompetent 4 times.
Do you know who Larry Summers is?
You've been proven to be incompetent
I'm
4
really
times.
Okay, fantastic. I've been proven
Can I
incompetent
play the
4
song?
times. Yep. Now
Go
let's
ahead.
talk about the American Rescue Plan because I'm so glad you brought that shit up.
Play a song.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I'll play a song. I'll give me 1 second.
Thank you, Phil. Shannon, how did you know? I really do. I really do. I don't like it. I check out. I'm checking out.
Check it out.
Pull it up, man.
I checked out a long time ago.
Unless you just regurgitate all these fucking federal subsidized R&D, which Larry Summers is the renowned economist that sat under Biden, sat under the Clintons.
Cost. I need you to
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you have no interest.
Skedaddle.
That's all it took. Oh my God, really?
Is that really all it took?
Damn.
That was easy.
You know, I have my moments.
That's all it took.
Damn.
Okay. That was a lot.
He did not know what he was talking about.
He never
No.
does.
No, because it went from being a W-4 to being a W-2.
I was screaming when I came in and he was like, "Oh, but it's a W-4," and then they get a 1099, and I was like, "I know you fucking lying." I'm sorry.
I hate when Liv does that. I literally hate when Liv does that.
Disappears.
Yes. He don't say bye and he just leaves.
Like, I was like, what in the world? I got called over here. And it was like, and then Irene was like, he said you were some Walmart tax preparer. And I was like, oh, I know he didn't. I was like,
He did say that though. He said
he must
Walmart
be talking about his
CPA.
pimp dad. I was like,
Yeah.
he talking about his pimp dad. I was like, I don't think that he makes 148 grand a year.
Absolutely not. He doesn't.
No, I was like, if he does, he better thank his lucky stars every day and hope that they don't really ask for like an aptitude test or try to figure out what he actually does every day. And I was like, sir, please. Like, please.
Have a great night, love.
Y'all too.
Not you,
Bye.
Susie. Not you, Susie. I was saying that to you. I was saying it to I think it's Bethy in the chat.
Oh,
if I have
yeah,
it right.
yeah. Shantae says she got a man at home. She
Yeah.
says she taught us later.
Bethy's got a man at home.
Yeah, but no, he gets mad every day. Like I was like, what is going on in Erica's live? And I come over here and I was like, not him and his drunk self again, like arguing the same
thing
that he was arguing the last time. And I was like, sir, we've already disproved all of this. I was like, no, you didn't. Not
I
again.
don't pretend to know everything, but some things I've read and some things I've heard way too many times, and mostly read one too many times to not know it. We did not get a 4% tax cut. Our bracket may have changed, but we didn't get a 4%.
The brackets change every year, though. That's the thing. The
Yeah.
brackets change and adjust every year with inflation. But then when he was like, no, and then I just knew that he was insane when he was like, but no, how did they save money? Da 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 da. And I was like, sir, they, you know, whatever. When I was like, sir, I was like, they didn't have any withholding all year. And it was like, but still, they have to pay the money back. And I was like, did they or did they not still, though, like, save the money all year? Like, regardless that they have to pay the money back, it's still a fact that they saved the money. Like, it doesn't matter what they do with the money, they still saved it.
Yeah.
Now, Susan,
Yes.
let me ask you a question. Isn't one of the side effects of the TCJA was that the refundable amount of like the child tax credit went down, so you could only get back a certain amount. You couldn't get back as much.
I think so.
And then it changed with the American Rescue Plan where it was 100% refundable.
I think so. I don't pay attention to that part so much. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah. Pretty sure that was the case.
I'm sure if I looked into it, yes. I think some of those things change, but I don't deal too much with that part to know. And I haven't really, like I said, I don't dig into it too much. But yes, I think that yes, that was probably part of the fleecing of America. Of that part. I mean, it sounds right up Trump's alley to make it like, yes, see, you're getting more, but you're really not. Along with like when the way that they redid the standard deduction, how they increased everybody's standard deduction, like, oh, see, you're getting more, but you're getting less, you know. So,
but you know what, that right there, that was a good grift. Because he really got these folks believing they got more.
And they didn't. And that's the thing, because I had to sit there and explain that. I had to explain that more. Like I said, I don't have too many clients that like I said, I think it was more like the child tax credit than the earned income credit. But I had to explain the standard deduction more. And so, and literally it was like I wanted to like shoot bricks when I was trying to explain to some people where they're like, but the standard deduction is higher. Or I was like, okay, I know that this is going to sound weird. Like, so it's like your standard deduction's higher, but you lost money. And then it was like, but I don't even understand what you're saying. I was like, I know, I'm trying to make it make sense. But so yes, it was a really good bait and switch. And what I try to explain to people, and this is where Sauce lost his stuff the other night, because Erica and I were having a nice conversation where she's like, I knew something changed on the withholding form, and he just like blew up. But so what happens is on the federal side, you know, of course you see it on the federal tax return when your standard deduction goes up and you lose money. It affects you on the state tax return, because on most states, if you itemize on the federal, it helps you on your state tax return. Your state will take your itemized deduction from the federal and use it on your state tax return. And so a lot of the clients, you get double bamboozled, because now you're taking the standard deduction on the state tax return. So you lose money there. So that's what people weren't seeing either. And I was like, it's like, oh no, I'm giving you extra money. No, you're not. These people are losing money on the federal level and the state level, and I have to be the angel of death to explain that to these people. You know, so like I said, and that's when like Sauce like raged out the other night and was like, what are we, like when he just did that with Phil or with Liv earlier, and he was like, what are we even talking about? That's not even related to what we're talking about. And I was like, sir, please have some decorum. That's not even what we're talking about. That's not even what we're talking about. Like, I'm trying to make this make sense to you, and then you want to call me a Walmart taxpayer. I was like, I wish, please.
I'm not gonna kid you. That made my head hurt.
But it does. Like, and that's like, yeah, like Tiana's saying, I always owe now. That's the point. That's the point. They made it so that the middle class will always owe. And that's where the tax cut went. The tax cuts went to the high income earners, the corporations. And they shoved it off on the, on the minions. But it's like, oh, but your standard deduction went up. It don't do nothing. So
I have to say, when Ren, Erica, and Susie all start talking maths to me, oh, it's so lovely, because I can't follow worth a shit, and I'm dumb as rocks when it comes to this. But y'all are so talk mathy to me. I love it so much.
Oh my God, talk mathy. No, it makes sense. Oh my God. Like, the other night, and I was really trying to have a nice time. And then when he just like when he just like roid raged out and was like, what are y'all even talking about? That's not even what we're talking about. And I was like, no, you did not just like Kevin out.
You know, it's the hardest part. The hardest part for me is that when you know that you're saying something that is based in actual reality and that is factual, and someone says, well, that's your opinion.
Yes.
Or that's wrong. And it's like, no, it's not wrong. This is, it's true. Like,
Yes.
here's the stat. Here are the facts.
He literally, and then wanted to start yelling math problems. Like, what is 148?
What's
times
2 plus 97?
Yes. And I was like, sir.
Tell me now.
Like, go get a grown up. Go get your mom. Go put her on the phone. That was it. And so yeah, so when I came in, so yeah, shout out to Irene and Parker's for like sounding the bell. Like Parker, like I think it was like Irene. He was like, he talking about you. You want to get in here? And I was like, what?
I'm sorry, but y'all not showing Susie enough love for me. We're dating at.
Dayton's in Jess's chat.
Oh, okay.
We were airing. Oh, you know what? FYI, in case she comes over here, that's what we were doing. We were airing out Not Stressed in Jess's chat. I thought we had run her out of town on a rail, but apparently she decided to come back.
I thought y'all had too.
Yes.
No, she better not come around here.
You better not come around here because I can't.
Same story, y'all. Same story.
Is he about to turn his camera on?
Oh, it's on.
Why is his camera on?
Why is the camera on? This feels non-consensual.
It does. Oh. You didn't ask if you could turn your camera on.
So yeah, just FYI, y'all. Same story. She's here for the kids, and then Sunkiss read her for filth.
Sunkiss reads everyone for filth.
I know that, but yeah, but it was like no, because what it was, I was minding my business. Sunkiss boosted me up to the panel. And I was like, I was minding my business. I'm working. And I was like, Not Stressed, why are you here? And it was like, but, and I was like, do you see who you voted with? Because we had kicked somebody off. And I was like, you see who you voted with? And she's like, well, they're not all like that. And I said, but you have children to protect. I said, do you say that about molesters? Like, well, they're not all like that. I said, isn't one enough? I said, if you have a child to protect, isn't one molester enough? And she was like, well, I mean, and I was like, so then she starts going in about them little chillins and about, she's saving them, but they're terrible. Anyway, like I said, I'm just putting y'all on alert.
Let me tell she better not come. She not gonna come around here.
I hope not.
Because every time she come around here, I completely crash out on her. Every time.
Crash the fuck out.
I don't know.
Every time I crash out and probably call her everything but a child of God.
Well, this time she
hold on, guys. Hold on one moment, please. Hold on a moment. We have someone else on the panel. I want to know if they did vote for Trump or not.
Oh.
I can't see your name, but I know it starts with an M. Did you vote for Trump?
Say that again.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Sure.
Where do you live?
What do you say?
Where do you live?
I live in Nigeria.
Nigeria. Oh, okay. You didn't vote for Donald Trump then. Because you don't go here. All right. There we go. Take away men's camera access now. Take away their access to microphones. Take away their camera access. Take away men's voices.
Make mics $1 million, please. It's the men's mic tax.
Exactly. Women can get it for $1. Men, you have to pay $1 million.
We have the pink tax. They have the mic tax. It's
exactly.
like, you want this
Take it away.
It's $9.99, but the tax is $1 million.
Take it away.
So no, but no, she was over
Take
there
away their internet access.
Telling you.
Take it away. No more data for you.
Give them Starlink.
Give them Starlink anyway.
No, you can't give them Starlink. Starlink always works. It sucks, but it always works. So it might take an hour for a document to load, but it works.
Okay.
I have a headache now.
Boost. Something. You should with Sauce always yelling.
Where? Because like I was actually feeling pretty good.
Well, because he came up the other night, Ren, when you were off. You were taking a mental health day or whatever. You were in the comments, I think. And he was hollering. So
Like my own child knows I do not like a whiny man. Like you better stop all that whining. Like we
I
can
know that's
talk,
right.
you can express yourself, but please don't whine.
Mm-mm.
Before y'all
Woman
start
who
asking,
says
yes, I
something.
allow my child to cry. I do not allow him to whine though. Like allow my
No,
child to
I
cry. That's
get it.
crazy. How you allow somebody to cry? My child can cry.
Right.
No
My
whining.
whole thing is whether you yelling or whining. My first question is anytime a kid start whining, I'm like, hey, who are you talking to?
Right.
And that question right there is normally the children in my life. They be like, okay, I know the answer to that question is not I'm talking to you. So nobody. I'm talking to nobody.
Right.
Okay. Long as you know it.
And we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think I'm about Erica. I don't know. I might be done for the night.
I don't blame y'all.
Me too. I'm about to go MAGA hunting. I'm gonna go watch Santana, and then I'm gonna go MAGA hunting. Are any women live? Is Jessica live?
She should be.
I imagine
Is my
so.
baby live? If
That's
she
where I
live,
was. And then I usually catch Parker's on that's been my new favorite thing. I've been catching Parker's on Monica's live.
So she just comes in. She'll find me. And
Yeah.
she'll
Well,
find me.
because it's like and she's like, you're still awake. She's like, tell me you're not at work. And I'm like, no, I'm finally at home.
we're gonna go raid Jessica. We're gonna go say hi to Jessica. I'm tired. My brain hurts. Well, my brain hurts from hosting. I can panel all night long because that's exactly what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna find me somebody's panel. I'm gonna find me some MAGA lives. I'm gonna go have some fun in these TikTok streets. If I see you there, I see you there. All right, I see you there. Huh?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Phil says check Venmo one more time.
Oh, Phil,
Night,
thank you.
Jesse.
Thank you, Phil. Phil said he was right that most people wouldn't have self-control if they increase their exemptions, but anyone who can should take that money each paycheck and put it in a mutual fund and pay their taxes out of it. That's
My
not a bad
dad did
idea.
that. My dad did that. My mom would get so mad every year. She's like, I don't understand how we're married and we have 2 kids and we owe every year. My daddy took his money every year. He put his money in stocks. He did whatever, and whatever his CPA said he owed, he cut him a check.
Smart.
Well, because it's actually smarter to do that because the government ain't gonna give you an interest-free loan.
That's what I tell people. That's what we were talking about last time, Ren, when old boy flamed out. I said, because he's like, isn't it smart for people to get, or isn't it poor planning if people get a tax return at the end of the year? And I said, you mean a tax refund? That's how I knew he wasn't talking about shit. And so I was like, listen, I'm Vegas. I'm tax Vegas. I said, if people want to get a refund, some people it's like stock market. If they don't want any risk, they get a refund. If they want to be in the middle, I help them plan to be in the middle. I said, some people know that they want to get all their money during the year. I tell them how to get all their money during the year and they cut a check. I said, it depends on the person. And he wilded out. But yes, that's how my dad was. My dad would get all of his money throughout the year. He'd invest it. He'd do whatever. And then his CPA would be like, hey, this is what you owe. And he cut a check.
That's just for bookkeeping purposes. Because also shout out to Jesse. Jesse said, this young man knows just enough to be dangerous. It seems to everyone on the panel that you have an idea of the TCJA, but you're conflating several different principles. Bro, just use OneNote and actually take notes. They're trying to help you fill in your knowledge gaps. I believe that. That's true.
He knows buzzwords. Research and development.
What did that have to do with it?
Not a damn thing. Research and development is like a write-off.
Like doesn't that normally yeah.
It's research and development. It's like what companies write off over a number of
I gotta control alt delete it.
I was just about to say, all right, let's go.
All right, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. I'm gonna take some Tylenol. Thank you. Good night, y'all. Thank you so much. As always, guys, if you can't do something kind for yourself, please do something kind for each other. Night, night. Don't